if I was Floyd and he was me,
Yeah.
he would never have to fight again because that exhibition shit,
Yeah.
as me being his little brother, hey, little bro, we finna do 10 rounds and we both gonna get 100+ million for it.
Right.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Right.
And
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the fan on this good Monday. We back to build on this good boxing. I already know if you catch this on the playback, smash the like button. Sub to the channel, turn your notifications on. Come say what's up to the fan. What's going on with y'all, man? Rob, what's good with it? Say, yo, just LIL TBE. What's good with it, Rob? Ace, what's good, family? Hey, Mayweather, the only fighter who changed his referee mid-fight. Yeah, we got to revisit that. We're going to talk about that, too. You know, he shook the, I don't want to say he shook the boxing world up, but he created some waves, should I say. He created some headlines, some stories, some talking points. You know, stamping chords, LIL TBE, you know, that made the fans highly upset. Being boxing news, what's good, my guy? Mark West, what's good with the fam? Thrill Hill, Judah Vision, my guy. D for the win, what's good with it, bro? Salute to my baby girl, the queen. Just put some color in the chat. Hey, baby, just some motivation for you today. Man. Needs it. Appreciate you, baby girl.
and we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
I ain't call out D. I ain't no call outs. You know what I mean? We here. What's good with it, bro? Thomas Hill, my guy. What's good with it, bro? Dante's Boxing Talk is in the building. LIL TBE, big homie core, when all the smoke. Yeah, they mad, man. You see the narratives, Dante? You see them? They still going, man. They going hard, man. You gotta be a damn good fighter when people willing to place them narratives on you like that, man. That dude went from boring to all of a sudden being the most talked about fighter in the world. That's the most talked about boring fighter I've ever heard of, bro. Ever, man. Everything he do, everything he posts, everything he say. You get what I'm saying? It's people got something to say. They going crazy. Milan, what's good with it? Kevin King in the building. Haleen, what's good with it, fam? That LIL TBE comment got them hot. They like, LIL TBE, where? He ain't nothing like Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Teach. You know what it is, Teach. You know what I mean? What's good with it, Teach? Lil TBE. I know they ain't calling. You could just hear him in the back. Yo, you could just hear him in the back. Mad as hell. Yeah, Lil TBE. I can't believe that. Floyd just saying that. Floyd just saying that because he hating on Tank. Yeah, they is pissed off. Floyd out here pissing people off, bro. He out here swapping reps mid-fight. You know what I'm saying? Pissing people off. You know what I'm saying? Stamping people as Lil TBE. You name it, he doing it. Floyd is the talk, man. He said, y'all gonna find one way or another. Y'all gonna talk about me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all ain't feeling this Mayweather Gotti 3? Bet. Say no more, man. Hold my gloves. You know what I'm saying? He said, I bet y'all be talking after I send this text. Cal Cooler blesses, family. What's good with it, fam? How you feeling, bro? Yeah, man, the narrative's running rampant. Everything Shakur be posting on Twitter, that part I understand, but I think a lot of it is unnecessary hate. Yeah, but you know what's crazy? Like, I don't have a problem with what he posts, because is if that's who he is, he better embrace it. You know what I'm saying? He better understand what come with it. Some stuff, some battles you don't need to fight. Like, it's draining his senses, right? It can be looked at as counterproductive, but if you want to embrace that role and be sort of a villain, I mean, look, I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. My brother Mike Kirkland, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? You know what I mean? I just think, yeah, the TBE got him pissed off, bro. Ryan, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling, man? For it's still relevant. Don King still promoting, and Bob Am still promoting. 2024 at a time. Nah, for real though. Listen, man, you know that little TBE comment, man. That joint hitting different. It's hitting different. It's hitting different, y'all. Y'all smash the like button for me, man. We just gonna have some fun to build on this good boxing, man. I always gotta have fun with it, because I think people be way too serious, man. Don't even be that serious. It be, you know, let it be fun. Let it be fun. You know what I'm saying? This is Floyd right here, man. Cord posted this text from him and Floyd. He said, he told Floyd after the fight, still the greatest I ever seen. He said, thanks, little TBE. that little bit right there, that little 3-word text got people flipping, punching at their screens. He posted that. I could just imagine his inbox. I could imagine his inbox probably going crazy right now. They probably like the nerve of Floyd, you hater. He ain't nothing but an old hater. He just hating on Tank. He don't believe that. Shakur's stupid if he believe he really think he TBE. They don't do nothing alike. You know what I mean? He was a runner. He was born. Floyd fought. At least Floyd made you miss, made you pay. He ain't just make you miss and back straight up. I mean, I was just getting annoyed by it, but I had to look at it different, because it was really starting to piss me off. Like the way people interact. Then I had to think about it. Like, hold on. This 27-year-old young man got these grown men, some of them twice his age or more, typing paragraphs on Twitter. Yo, they be mad at everything, bro. That shit just funny to me, man. Like, look, man, at the end of the day, Floyd gonna be Floyd. It ain't no surprise that he's saying this. Like, he's just complimenting him, right? I think people could read too much into things, right? I think that was just, and it was between them two. Cord just made it public, right? Because he could do what he want, you know. But I noticed it get people talking. Cord probably too. He probably had that grin, you know what I'm saying, from ear to ear while he was posting this, because he already know what time it is. He already know what time it is. Diddy said, I might have to take that little TBE. And he said, that's fire. Yeah, they like, man, Corey, I know you didn't think you TBE. Who he beat? Who he beat? How many champions he beat? How many champions he beat? You know what I'm saying? Who he beat to be compared to Floyd, man? Just because you got to have more than good defense to be considered TBE. It'd be funny, man. They'd be mad as hell. Can't believe he called him TBE. The nerve of him. Just Tank beat Shakur. Do that mean he beat Mayweather, TC, and Andre? Hell nah. It don't mean he beat all of them. It just mean he beat Shakur, one of the best fighters I believe in the world. That's what I would say. And I would give him his undeniable 100% credit that he did. You get what I'm saying? I would give him his undeniable 100% credit. You know what I mean? If he did beat whichever one wins. But I'm just having fun, man, because it's the shit used to piss me off. Now it's funny because I see it for what it is, and I've always seen it, right? It's becoming more of a reality, a clear picture for me. People don't really enjoy boxing. They enjoy being able to have an opinion no matter how crazy it is, right? They're comfortable. It's no consequence to saying the wildest thing you could say. You could be the biggest critic, right? And say the wildest shit. And that's what social media is kind of birthed, that kind of energy when it comes to sports and people interacting with these athletes and these different things that they have to say. Like I've been quietly watching for like the last couple of weeks, just watching interactions between people, and you'll be surprised at some of the stuff that people be saying to these fighters, bro. You like, man, this is how y'all talk in real life or just on the internet? I'm asking for me. I want to know. So I was wondering why they was dissing Floyd today. You already know, Dante. Miss Joette. Peace to Miss Joette. Canada's very own. Let's Talk Fashion. What's good, my guy? How you feeling, Brody? Teach, he said they just giving the media something to talk about. Right. Yeah, that's why I say, and they fall right for it. Teach, they fall right into the little pitfall, right into the little loophole. They like, nah, Floyd, TBE, not the same TBE that's ducking Tank, not the same one that signed up with Eddie Hearn, knowing he can't get him no Tank fight. Nuh-uh. Not the same one that's scared to call Al. He can't be little TBE. Not the same one that, scared to sign over to the PBC. Not that guy. Nah, that's no way. That's little TBE. You know what I'm saying? They start stealing Tank quotes. Show me one thing he did that's crazy. That's spectacular. Show me one thing that he did that's crazy. They'd be like, yo, show me something. Show me one thing he did that says he TBE. Show me. Nah, but all jokes aside, man, it always makes for an interesting conversation because it's not so much TBE that he called him, it's the reaction from people, from him just saying something to him, just complimenting them through a text, man, showing the youngin some love. And one thing I can say that's consistent, I ain't never see Floyd and Shakur have a rocky relationship. So everything that he say, any compliment or praise that he give him, is not always centered to take a stab at Tank. I think that's an immature way of looking at it. I think when he's doing it, and I see people making trying to make the connection here. No, I don't think he was making a stab at Tank. I think he was complimenting Shakur Stevenson and confidence within the text message, right? And Shakur, being the young fighter he is, he shared that because he liked it. I've seen plenty of people when they interact with Floyd, they share those interactions online for people to see, and it's meant as like a positive thing rather than a negative. So I just see people, they overdoing it, but at the same time, that's a heavy crown. If you're gonna be anything like Floyd, that's a heavy crown to wear. But I just think it's a compliment, man. It's not saying you got to be the next TBE. You even got to be little TBE. It's up for Shakur to take that however he want. But I think that's just a compliment of his highest order. I think people just making the typical overreaction about it, right? You overreacting. He could have said this to some other guys. People probably wouldn't have batted an eye. But at this climate, in this day and age where, the casual opinion is at an all-time high, it's very loud nowadays. You can't get no pure boxer the little TBE. Not in this society. You had to give it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I used to get mad when Floyd called Tank the new Mayweather. And when he called Carmel the next big thing. Yup, just old heads who hate new gen. Yeah, they do. I think it's something to take lightly. He's a possibility target for Floyd. He could most definitely run with promotions with Cora's little TBE. Yeah, it's funny. And then maybe then we can get a possible matchup. Yeah, that's interesting. Thomas Jordan Smith, what it do, my guy? And McLean in the building. What's good, bro? That Floyd better not have Kurt Shakur. Nah, he ain't do it like that. I think, and again, for me, context matters. I think that was said, and amongst them too. Core just decided to share that, as many other fighters do when they have interactions with Floyd, things like that. He's still able to, light that fire, so to speak, in these fighters. So despite what people think of him, you know what I mean, when it comes to these fighters, the ones that do what he do, they had the utmost respect for him, and I think this is reasons why him being able to extend that olive branch, pay it forward, kind of reach back. You know what I mean? Little stuff like this, little interactions like this, compliments like that from a guy like that's on the status of a Floyd Mayweather, it go a long way, man. It go a long way with fighters. And not just him, you know, you've seen him do some work with Keyshawn Davis and a list of many others. It's not too many people going to have an interaction with Floyd, especially when it's something like training and they don't post that interaction. They're going to show that and they're going to be proud of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the top of the top, man. That's the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? Mike Mazak, what's good with it, Mike? How you feeling? Mike in the building. It's always a good day. Salute to my guys. How y'all feeling? Yeah, LIL TBE. You know what I mean? He said internet thugging and cyber banging at his finest. Yeah, they be doing too much, man. They be going too crazy. They be calling these fighters out of their name. And it be unjust. It be for no reason. Like, they just be coming crazy. Like, they just get up there and start disrespecting a fighter because he did something that benefited him and his family. You get what I'm saying? Tim Stoudemire, what's good with it, bro? Lisa Smith, peace to the queen. How you feeling today? Hey, man, real quick, though. Shout out to my boy, man. Shout out to my boy, Keep Cologne, Keep Tsunami Cologne. He sent your boy Justice shirt, man. He got your boy right with a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go tap into him, man. He got a YouTube channel up here, too. Shout out to Keith, man. Big Keith and Lil Keith, man. He on his way. He made his pro debut on Shakur undercard. And he came out swinging, second round KO. Sent your boy a nice blue shirt, man. And it feel like a jersey, y'all. It got something on the back as well, man. Little writing on the sleeve, man. It's a nice shirt. Feel like a jersey, man. Feel like a jersey. Shout out to Keith, man. Shout out to Keith Cologne, man. We are watching. Chant, we are watching. Shout out to my bro Mike Mazak in the Cash App, always supporting the grind. Much love to my guy Mike. Let me get you right. Shout out to everybody that continues to support the grind, man. Cause you just don't know.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
And Tim Stoudemire, what's good, Tim? And the Queen Lisa said in privacy but shared publicly. Indeed, just shot, no harm, no foul. Yeah, and it's something like Mayweather from outside looking in can understand why he would share that moment, because he like, hey man, this is what this guy thinking. You know what I'm saying? And it's not all. It's just funny to me how something that is supposed to be positive would be spent into negative when it get a hold, when, you know, the public get a hold of it, right? You got to think, man, he just shouting him out. Look what he just told him, you still the greatest I ever seen after his exhibition. And we're going to get into some of that too, because a lot of people was complaining about the outcome of the exhibition. Different people laughed. Some people claimed they didn't care. Them same people was sitting there watching. So, you know, with the ref swap and all that, you know, a lot of people are saying it might be time for him as well. So for Shakur to share that moment with him, look, hey man, you still the greatest I ever seen. And he like, man, thanks, LIL TBE. It's light, but it goes a long way for these young fighters on the come up when you got a guy like Floyd that believe in your talent and your skill and is willing to let you know. You know what I'm saying? So I like it, man. I like it. It's not a big deal. Do this mean he's the next TBE, LIL TBE? Nah, he's still Shakur Stevenson to me, but that's always been more than enough. So I like the interaction. I don't have any negative draws from it. You know what I'm saying? Big Dog Willie always putting that color in the chat. Shout out to my guy. Said Bill Haney said that he trains Navy SEALs and Delta Force. Bill Haney said the U.S. government contacted him because he fired techniques is very lethal. Man, Bill's a bad boy, ain't he, Big Dog? He's a bad man.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie. Say these guys, I'm thinking Andre Ward, Bud Crawford, and Ford. I believe Shakur got to be the goods. These guys from a stamp, just anybody. I think so too. I say that all the time, Dante. I think it's deeper than them being cool with them. I think it's deeper than them liking them and you know, just having a good relationship. Again, of course, that would be part of it, but I think it's deeper than that. Like I've heard, I don't like to speak too much on certain things, but look, I had the opportunity to hear what one of his weaknesses was over this past weekend. One of Shakur's weaknesses, man. And if that's not real, I don't know what is real. That's why I say he got the right kind of people around him, because despite what people think in the public, They making sure that he's the best fighter possible behind closed doors. And if that means keeping it real with him and you know, acknowledging that means acknowledging the weaknesses and attacking them full on and getting better. Man, telling you it's real over there, man. I don't think they would stamp him either at all, bro. Yeah, trim the ends in red though. You want to see that red in there, man. You know the red is my color, man. I post Mayweather if you hop in our inbox. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like we're all posted. Melanin Queen, peace and blessings to the queen. How you feeling at that? Dragon Assassins official. What's good, family? How you feeling, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's a positive thing. Get down where you mad at. Motown 909s. What's good, family? How you feeling, bro? Yeah, the ref swapping was wild, but just to talk a little bit about this, right? Because I mean, look, let's call it what it is. I personally don't believe there'll ever be like, you know, when they say this next Floyd, we can always try to draw comparisons, right? And you always have to put it into its proper context, because trying to say somebody is the next Floyd is a very broad statement that you shouldn't make, because that's a lot of the expectation level just go through the roof. So for me, right? For me as a boxing supporter, as somebody that rock with a Shakur Stevenson, right? When somebody say, "Oh man, he do this X, Y, and Z like Floyd," you can see it when it's put in its proper context, right? But when you just make a broad statement, "Ah, he's the next Floyd," or "This one's the next Floyd," there's always going to be things I think that are missing. Not because these guys lack greatness or talent or skill in any of that stuff, because Floyd just set the bar that damn high. You get what I'm saying? If any good fighter or undefeated fighter could just be the next Floyd Mayweather, then what would be so special about the man himself, right? So that's part of, I think, what makes Floyd Mayweather the kind of fighter that he is and has the reputation that he has. You're not going to just see somebody come and surpass what he did. You're not going, and it's deeper than 50-0. I hear people argue about that all the time. It's deeper than that. It's how this dude won. It's who he beat and how he beat him, when he beat him too. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot, man. Those are extremely large shoes to fill. And I think, you know, anybody coming after him trying to be the next will always fall short, because that's a one-on-one. Like you could duplicate some things, you can emulate some things, but you can never copy it. And that's something any fighter that's coming up got to know. Yeah, you could look at a Floyd Mayweather and you could say, "Hey, I like how he did that. I like the pull counter. I like the fact that he don't get hit a lot. I want to implement that into my game." And that's all cool. But the minute you start thinking that, "Hey, man, you know what? I see what he do. I'm the next this. I'm the next that," I think that's where you start the trouble start for yourself. So although Core is he is acknowledging what Floyd said, and I think he likes it for itself, right? But I don't think he's somewhere around here like, "Yo, I'm the next Floyd." Like I've heard him say this, but I don't think it's him trying to be him, right? I just think there are comparisons, again, like I said, that you can draw from their fighting style, and the most obvious is the defensive capabilities, right? Their ability to not get hit, right? And that's just something where you can see the comparisons at, right? You know, being technically sound, fundamentally sound, having a high IQ in the ring, right? Being a ring general, being able to move in there. There are several comparisons that you can draw from Floyd Mayweather and say, "Man, you see Shakur do some of them things," but does that make him Floyd Mayweather or TBE? Nah. And that's okay. If he wants to run with that, that's more than fine too. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think Shakur wins because he's Shakur. That's first and foremost. So although he appreciates the compliment from Floyd, and you get what I'm saying, and he even shared it with us, it's just, it's kind of refreshing sometimes, especially like you just think about it in a climate where all you've been getting is shit on, like everybody taking these stabs at you, from the fans to boxers to trainers, coaches. Everybody got an opinion on Shakur. It's refreshing, I think, for him through all this chaos to hear a guy that competed at that level, and which was the highest level, and it broke the numbers and all that, right? Kind of changed the game in his own right? Floyd Mayweather tell you, "Hey, man, just that little bit. Thanks, LIL TBE. Like, hey, man, you one of the best too." Because it say way so much more than those 3 words to him. And I know it meant a lot, because obviously he felt the need to share it. So I just salute it. I rock with it. I don't read too much into it. It's just a compliment from one fighter to the next. You know what I'm saying? But that that compliment weighs heavy coming from a guy that got the reputation, especially in the ring, as a Floyd Mayweather. That's just simply one of the best, I think, that's laced him up, especially for the ones that I got to watch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Big Dog Willie back in the super chat. He said, who changed refs in the middle of the round? LOL. Floyd, matter of fact, you done super chatted. I done spoke about it. Let me play the video so we could all bring up to speed anybody.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to my brother Big Dog Willie. Let's check this out, man. And can't nobody do it like a TBE could do it, man.
Quick combination there for Mayweather.
Oh, come on, ref. That's not a behind the head shot. That is not a behind the head shot. That's a hook. It's a hook from long distance. How can that be behind the head shot? Yes, get out of the way.
Things already getting testy here.
Technically, this could be another disqualification with the corners getting up on the apron like that.
Now it's Mayweather getting heated right now. Was kind of telling the referee, hey, just get out of the way.
So that was some of the little spectacle that was, you know, Mayweather Gotti 3 or what Gotti 3rd, the second one. Look, man, Floyd do what he want. Why I don't have a problem with these exhibitions, bro. And this is how soon we forget. Motown said, yeah, it's real deep. How soon we forget, you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to have anyone else be the next Floyd. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So even though he'll say that, he ain't saying, hey, you, him. He just said, he said LIL TBE. He ain't say you the next TBE. He said LIL TBE. You know, it's a great point, Melanin Queen. You're right. Floyd is simply a legend. He giving a young man praise. Yeah, it's organic. It's just a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Floyd and Tiger Woods the best I've ever seen from the beginning to end. I agree with that, Mike Kirkland. I agree with that. I feel like Shakur is more like Sugar Ray Leonard. It's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Ace. And you wouldn't be wrong because there's comparisons that you can draw from them as well. Yeah, that's truly how special as a boxer. Guys are going to always miss that mark trying to be Floyd. But you know what? Shakur would never, and I mean he'll never miss the mark being Shakur. He'll never, ever, ever, ever miss the mark being himself. And he knows that. And that's Mr. Fight Your Fight himself. That's what I name. That's what I call him. You know what I mean? That's Mr. Fight Your Fight himself. He ain't trying to hear none of that. Go in there, stand in the center of the ring, get punched on. He going to show you how to do it without taking punishment. And I appreciate him for it, man. I really do. P. Hunter was good with it. Yeah, he added that WWE vibe to it, man. Floyd need to exhibit AB. And he never got a box again. Yeah, AB tried to let him know. So look, aside from the praise from Shakur, it's always going to be backlash because the block is hot when it comes to Shakur, man. Any praise right now is going to seem like it's too much and people going to criticize it, right? You can't even say his defense is good at this point. You can't even say his defense is good at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that, again, that's obviously the biggest comparison when you look at the Floyd. Like if you just look at this chart, you just look at this chart and defense, and you see that, you know, K Causey, what it do, my guy? How you feeling, bro? And you see his opponent's connect percentage. Like, make sure I take this off so y'all can see this. You see his opponent's connect percentage is ridiculous. Connect percentage of Floyd Mayweather opponents is wild. Canelo being one of the faces of boxing today. 19%, bro. 19%. Floyd landed 46% on him. Manny Pacquiao, one of the best of his time. You get what I'm saying? 19%. Floyd landed 34. Cotto gave him a little slightly better work. 21%. Floyd landed 26. Oscar landed 21%. As great as Oscar, Cotto, as great as these careers, this is the golden boy himself. He landed 21% against Floyd. Floyd landed 43. That's consistency over the years. That's in his biggest fights. His defense still remained the same. That's why you can truly solidify Floyd Mayweather as, I think, one of the absolute best defensive fighters there is. You know what I mean? That I got to watch for sure. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Don't argue with me. Argue with these damn numbers and these low ass connect percentages. You know what I'm saying? You just can't argue that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, that's the biggest comparison when I see them two. But I don't have all the numbers for Core. But you already do know he has, if they say the lowest opponent connect percentage in all of boxing, I think it's in the top 2 or 3. So he's still up there. But like I said, he hasn't had the kind of names and been in there with the type of talent that Floyd has been in there with. But his defense has been every bit as good, and in some cases better if you just look at the numbers. But again, Floyd did it against some of the absolute best in the world. And that's something that Shakur is still looking to check off his resume. So as big as a supporter at Miami is, I'm still a real one. Although their defenses both are great, you can draw the comparisons, technical ability, right? IQ, you know what I mean? Just understanding the game, right? Those are the comparisons for me. But even in his best attribute in Shakur, which is his defense, you know, you see how Floyd was able to do it against some of the absolute best in the world. So that's something that, you get what I'm saying? Shakur is still looking to check off his bucket list. You know what I'm saying? Getting those bigger, better names in there and still performing, you know, having those A-level performances, still looking good defensively, right? That's something that he still, you know what I mean? He's chasing to do. So you see why when you try to compare somebody to Floyd, and not saying that nobody is, just an honest conversation, you have to put it in its proper context for it to make sense, or people's imaginations are going to run wild. So I think, you know, I ain't go full all on in depth comparing the two, but I think I said enough to let you know, like, there are comparisons there, but at the end of the day, Floyd is always going to be Floyd, and Core is going to always be Core. And I think Shakur knows that more so than anybody else. And that's all that matters. So he's going to take that for what it's worth. He's going to appreciate words like that from a guy that's he look at as one of the absolute greatest. And, you know, it's motivation for him. You know what I'm saying? Cash Sports, my guy, was good with it, Box Story. Hall of Fame fighters, you get what I'm saying? So that's the difference. They're doing it against some of the absolute best fighters in the world. And that's something that, you know, Shakur is still chasing, right? Getting the best, absolute best fighters in the world, and then performing the way he typically does against them. You know what I mean? The way he does against anybody else. So, and then when he's able to do that, if he's able to check that box and solidify that, then you have an even better comparison of the two. But still in all, there's just so many, I think, nuances and layers to Floyd Mayweather's game for anybody to be the next him. That's just me being honest. I just think those are extremely large shoes to fill. I think that's a losing battle in a lot of cases to even try to do that. You know what I mean? Because I think in a lot of cases, it's an unrealistic expectation. You get what I'm saying? So you just got to, Floyd did what worked for him, and you got to do what works for you. And I think Shakur, like I said, is a prime example of somebody that's been doing exactly that. You know what I'm saying? And you see the criticism that he getting today for doing exactly that. So there's more comparisons, like the Born title, the Runner. They said them things to Floyd, the Pillow Fist, Can't Punch. They said those things about Floyd. We not saying that he's the same exact fighter, but I'm just telling what the facts are. I've heard people call Floyd boring. I heard him say all he do is run. Heard him say, oh, you can't punch, he's pillow fisted, brittle hands. You hear that. You hear the same BS about Shakur. You've seen a lot of unjust hate from Floyd. Maybe some of it was directly to what he said and how he moved, right? Same thing with Core. You see a lot of comparisons, right? But that don't make him Floyd, and I'm not saying he is, but I see the comparisons, and he could learn a lot from him, and just seeing what Floyd went through and how he dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? He turned that shit into dollars. You get what I'm saying? He was a marketing genius. Floyd Mayweather turned all that hate that everybody had for him into money. And I think Shakur Stevenson, if we being all honest, if he's able to see it for what it is, he can do the same thing in his own way. No, you're not going to do it the way Floyd did it, because, again, Floyd is Floyd, Shakur is Shakur. But that's more than enough for me, Shakur being Shakur. But like I said, he could. I think he's in a position where he can market that same, market this hate and turn it into some money for himself. You know what I'm saying? Simple and plain. Salute to my brother Lonnie Lee, man, for the building blocks, always putting that color in the cash app. Much love to my brother Lonnie Lee.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to my brother. So that again, that for me, you know, it's all about context when you want to make comparisons, and that's not just with boxing. That's with any sport. That's when you compare any two fighters. Yeah, the similarities might be there, but I don't think, you know, there's never been a next Jordan. Still to this day, if we being all the way honest, you see how many different people they try to coin and phrases the next, right? Kobe came the closest, right? Then at the end, what is LeBron? But you get my point. If we being honest, for probably all of us in here, we had to say, have we still to this day seen the next Jordan? No. So again, that's just praise. It has to be put in its proper context. When somebody say, you know, the next this, the next that, even with Floyd saying LIL TBE, what I try to do is put it in its proper context. And I hope I made that make sense for everybody. You get what I'm saying? It's not to be overstated, but I think it's kind of praise of the highest order, right? And you just take it for what it is. Let it motivate you. Take it, you know what I mean? And you see exactly what it is and just move forward. I mean, just keep getting better. I mean, it got to be a reason that a Hall of Famer like an Andre Ward, a guy that, you know, a TBE, a GOAT of the game like Floyd Mayweather, another future Hall of Famer in Terrence Crawford, got to be a reason they vouch for you, right? So, you know what I mean? The ones that done it, doing the same thing you do, see you much differently than the guys that can't do what you do. And I think that's for good reason. And you just got to keep proving it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. Mike Kirkland, much love. Always putting the color in the super chat. Said Floyd Mayweather having the best fight parties, in my opinion. Right. Ain't nobody still don't care about boxing the way they did when he was fighting. People that don't even watch fights like that, they going to make sure they throw that party because it's an event. And what comes with a Floyd Mayweather party, a fight.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these bet, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
I seen salute to my brother Mike Kirkland. I seen people not even really, like I said, be that heavy, you know, advocates for boxing or watch it that often, but they'll let Floyd Mayweather be fighting. That's a fight that they'll be paying for, and it'll be in their house, food, party, all that. So I just don't think nobody quite do it the way, you know, he had it. You know what I'm saying? He had the most casual person tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Tank versus Shakur, man. Hold on, pardon me, y'all. Joint skipping. Why would it do all of that? Why would it jump all the way back up like that? Pardon me, yo. The closer we can get to Florida's Carver, what do you think, style wise? Oh yeah. I mean, and that's why it's another reason why that fight needed to be made. You know what I mean? Yeah, facts, Kaz, man. That defense is second to none, bro. Second to none. Yeah, it's similar, Motown. It's similar. Do that make them absolutely the same fighter? No, but it's some similarities there. And you know, the good thing about it for Shakur, he can go back and look. He's a student of the game. You can go back and see some of that stuff Floyd went through. How, not only how he went through it, how he got through it, how he dealt with it, how he adjusted to it, how he made it make dollars for him, how he turned people hating on him and calling him born and a runner. He made them pay every single time he fought to see him lose, and it never happened. And I think, like I said, on a smaller scale, I think Shakur can do the same thing. So LIL TBE, you know what I'm saying? Take that, run with it, do what you will with it, use it to your advantage, whatever, man. But either way, they're gonna be pissed off regardless. But as long as you keep winning, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Numbers say Brown is the best basketball player ever. Yeah. So you know, but you just never seen that next. Like we still to this day, you still looking for the next. The next. They always talking about the next, you know, Michael, the next Jordan, the next Kobe, the next LeBron. So always gonna be somebody calling somebody the next, but I don't think you get the next. I think you get very close, or I think you get duplicates of what people feel like might be, or you get versions. You know what I mean? You see it in spots. So, you know, Floyd was just a complete fighter. Is all around great. And then he just got something. He was God gifted, man. It was deeper than just being talented. You know what I'm saying? I think Floyd was God gifted. I think he was born to box. I don't think it was nothing else for him to do but box. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what he doing. So, and I see a lot of criticism about his moves and what move he made. But again, for you to fully criticize the move he made, you will have to know what offers, what options are on the table for him. And again, man, no one man career is centered around one fight, especially when you know that fight ain't coming right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple for me. 704 Joe, what's good, my guy? Nah, LIL TBE. Samuel, what it do, my guy? You feeling, Manuel? What's good with it? So yeah, man, I look at that stuff as exactly what it is, man. He gave the youngin some praise, man. Gave him his just due through a text. Probably did wonders for his morale. Like I said, in the time where it's hot, everybody got something negative to say. Think about it. You would have thought he went out there and looked bad, got embarrassed, struggled. You get what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. None of that happened, but the criticism was borderline slander after a while. And you know, like I said, when you get to hear something like that from a real one, from somebody that did it at the highest level against the best in the world, you know what I mean, just probably work wonders for his confidence, bro. You know what I'm saying? Probably work wonders for it. But still it remains, man. October 12th, man. We gonna see him. My bad, y'all. We're gonna see him back in the ring October 12th. Like I said, man, next man up. I believe Eddie Hearn has some type of plan, but the eyes are on him to see if he's able to deliver. Like I said, I can't stress that enough. It seemed like a big topic. I see everybody saying, you know, he ain't been able to do this for Andre. He's not going to be able to do it for Boots. He's not going to be able to do it for Shakur. Well, we just got to wait and see. What I will say is already I don't like the fact that, you know, the miscommunication between Brian Norman and Team Ennis has been taking place the way it have, right? I don't want to hear anything about no lowball offers when it's time to make one of your absolute best talents a unification fight. If money is what's stopping the fight from being made with Boots Ennis and Brian Norman, then I do feel like Eddie Hearn has to stand firm on his word. And like I said to y'all before, I heard him say in the interview that he's willing to, if you pledge your allegiance, your loyalty to him, he's willing to take a hit and he'll go to bat for you and all these things like that, right? So I think that's the situation he need to stand firm on. And he need to have that train of thought when it comes to securing one of these unification fights for Boots Ennis. You got to get him that. You got to give him that fight. Got to. You got to be able to get him one of those fights moving forward. He need it. Like he need it. You know what I'm saying? It's a must. You see the frustration on his face. He hungry. Another Avenesian level opponent just not going to do it for him. Right? You get what I'm saying? You got to do better than that. And already with Shakur, like I said, I'm not going to flip out with that situation because to my understanding, Zepeda is on the back end of this deal. So as long as he can secure that fight for him, I think that's a job well done. You kept him active in the process in the first fight, kept him busy. He's a former world champion. People will complain they don't do their homework. You don't even got to get into it. You stay active, you get paid, you win impressively, and then you go get that Zepeda bag. And then from there, you see what else is on the table for you. You see what other opportunities is out there for you. The fact that, you know, I see people conveniently trying not to highlight that it's only 2 fights. They making it seem like you just went over there and signed your life away and you're going to be 40 by the time you're done. You get it. It's 2 fights. And that tells me that he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Not signing none long term. You get what I'm saying? He kept his options open. He said he was going to go with the situation that was best for him. It seemed like that's what the Eddie Hearn situation provided for him. So if Eddie can get that one big name in a 2-fight deal, keep him active, get him a title defense, a bag, put him in front of another audience, a different demographic, let him maybe pick up some more fans in the process. That's not bad for the fighter. That's only bad for the fans that don't understand the vision that Eddie Hearn has. Now, I can't say I fully understand it, but at the end of the day, if it's to get him the bigger name, my bad, y'all. Baby do being a brat. If you can get him a bigger name in the process, then like I said, I think it's 2 fights well spent. All good. All right. It's 2 fights well spent, man. At the end of the day, it's he could only do what any other promoter could do. You know, I see a lot of people crying about the in-house fight in Joe Cordina, saying, "Oh, you know, Eddie keeps it in-house." We say that about every promoter, and there's no different there. So I think that's how they stumbled across it. Joe Cordina. Eddie probably owed him one, who knows? But he got him an opportunity at a title. People ain't feeling it. It is what it is. That's not for Shakur to worry about. it's only for him to worry about getting that deal secured at the back end. My bad, y'all. Baby dude was having his fits in the back. Let's talk. He says it's hard to slander Jake Paul and money giving you these events. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You getting people paid. You getting people paid opportunities, man. You got to give it up. You got to tip your hat to Jake. Yeah, he gonna get his just due. He definitely gonna get it over here always. Big Dre, what it do, my guy? How you feeling, bro? What's good with it, man? I said that man signed 2 fights to keep his options open. If Tank sent a deal, if he still duck, that's crazy. You're right. That's what I'm saying. And people are just, they're choosing to be, I don't know what the word is. Is it ignorance at this point? Because if you know something is not coming your way, you got to go stay active. And then the time frame couldn't be better. That those 2 fights, you got October and February, boom. Now you're looking at a whole new setup. You're looking at a potential. Do you extend with this guy, or is that option for that fight there for you? And do you need to go elsewhere to make it? That's how I see it. If you being a pessimist, I guess, if you're trying to find something negative to draw out of it, or maybe you just see it differently, man. You get what I'm saying? I hear people say, well, Eddie Hearn can't get this fight. Why go there? But Eddie, he's not. The thing is he going to Eddie for that fight, or is he going for Eddie for the 2 fights that he about to fulfill, right? With Cordina and there's a pay that's supposed to be, right? So I'm not flipping out until I see some type of negotiations get stalled or somebody walk away, turn something down. Till I get that, like I said, my sentiments remain the same, man. That man is entitled to, continue his career and go where he see fit to do it. You know what I mean? And if the opportunity for him is Eddie Hearn, then that's what he got to go do. You know what I'm saying? The audio good size audio fam. Until he gets they just left. They good. Appreciate you, Thomas. But I'll drop the link anyway. All things was good with it, bro. How you feeling, my guy? Frequent flyer, my bro, in the building. I said the same about Boots. Get the quick cash grab and then see what's up. And again, P Hunter, you got to understand. I try to look at things as a whole, right? As a whole. He just being a brat. He probably can't get something that he want to have. He's a man. He talk about spoiled, man. He don't have his way. He just he got a set of lungs on him too. But he all right though. He's all good. He just having one of his days. It's not the 2-fight deal. That's the problem. It's his opponent. Shakur is a way better fighter than Cordina from Wells. But again, watch this, Dragon. Like, look, I agree with you, right? But let's talk about it. What opponent is there for him to fight if you're dealing with Eddie Hearn? And it's pretty much a fill-in because the initial plan was a pay-per. You get me? It's a fill-in fight, quick. Like it's an easy fix for a guy in Eddie Hearn's shoes. If you would Matchroom, he's gonna go with an in-house fight. He's not gonna go with this De Los Santos rematch, or even people said Frank Martin. Just name me a fighter that was a realistic option that he could have fought. You get what I'm trying to say? A lot of times we'll shit on the reality of what's coming up, but we don't have no idea what really made more sense than that at the time. It seemed like it's something there, right? We got names, but are those opportunities available for those guys to make that fight? And again, when we talk about Eddie Hearn and him being a promoter, he's gonna go with an in-house fight. Who was Joe Cordina? That's his guy. You know what I'm saying? PJ's big dog. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, and it's staying busy. You got to listen to the fighters. What Boots just left from that side that they telling Shakur to go to. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't signed at PBC, but it was over that side pretty much, right? And they telling him to go there. He left that side for inactivity. The guy that they keep saying for him to rematch, and De Los Santos, he's also hasn't fought since then. Shakur about to have his second fight, and nobody still knows what De Los Santos is doing. So I don't see why he should go there and see how that would fix his issue and making sure that he's active and getting the fights. And I think Eddie Hearn, you get what I'm saying? If Turkey has Oscar on board, Oscar's ready to finally step his man up, and Williams Zepeda, which they saying they are, then that all works out for him to me. Go get those 2 fights out the way. February is very early at part of next year, and you still have the rest of the year to try to make these other fights that make sense. It's just that simple for me. You know what I mean? Actually fighting a dangerous guy. Limos, Keyshawn ain't turning away no smoke. PJ's big dog in the building. Shout out to Roser. What's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Still, Cordina got a title fight that he's never been part of. And the winners get a challenger instead of a uni. That's the vibe I don't like for Core, but I understand why. Yeah, but shit, look at it like this, right? It's a fill-in fight, man. In-house fight. I don't think people considering the business side of it. That's why I'm not tripping, because if somebody can tell me another name that was supposed to be there instead of Cordina, then I'll say it. And we talking about Eddie Hearn. I'm not gassing this fight. I'm not saying this is a great fight. It's just they keep saying bad look, bad look. I don't see this being a bad look. Since I don't, he can't pick his opponents. Bad look says what? Says who? It's gonna be a bad look if you lose. It'd be a bad look if you struggle. It'd be a bad look if you don't do what you're supposed to do. That's when it'll look bad. You get what I'm saying? If you can't get paid on the back end, very bad look. So again, maybe I'm thinking about the entirety of the situation. People just thinking about one fight without no context to it. Y'all just think as a Zapata and his better names. But again, we trying to have a conversation. Let's tell me the better names that he was supposed to fight, realistically. You get what I'm saying? IBS, my God, was good with it, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a bad look. I just think it's boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ashley's corner was good with it, cuzzo. How you feeling? Look, check this out. PGH. Is Fundora fighting Errol Spence off a knockout loss a bad look, moving into another division? PGH? Is that a bad look for Fundora? It's the same circumstance. A knockout loss, and it was one-sided. It was worse than Cordina. It was one-sided. You get what I'm saying? And he moving up a weight class. Is that a bad look for Fundora? I know somebody gonna say, well, Cordina is not Errol Spence. That's not the point I'm making. The circumstances is why y'all saying it's a bad look, right? Because had he not got knocked out in his last fight, people probably wouldn't be whining about this, right? Or complaining so much. You get what I'm saying? But again, just think of it that way. Is Errol Spence a bad look for somebody? You know what I mean? Because he coming fresh off a knockout loss for a title and in a new weight class. You get what I'm saying? Fundora was Tim Tszyu fighting Fundora coming off a knockout loss for a title. Was that a bad look for Tim Tszyu? I didn't hear nobody say it was a bad look for Tim Tszyu. I didn't hear nobody, and this is just an honest conversation. I don't hear people making the argument that, Errol Spence fight, it's a bad look for Fundora fighting Errol Spence coming off a knockout loss. They're going to justify it. They're going to say, well, he was a former unified champion. Well, he won 3 titles. None of that shit matter. The setup is exactly the same. You know what I mean? If we purely talking about principle and why we don't like this fight because we don't feel like he deserved a title fight coming off a knockout loss, is that not the same thing Errol Spence is about to participate in? Is that not the same kind of setup fight that got Fundora to be world champion right now? The same kind of fight that we would throw away. We like, he got knocked out in his last fight. Ain't no way he should be fighting for a title. He got in there and won. So you just never know. We can't write guys off at the one loss. Think about it. You build your way up so many fights to get a title shot. You could win a title, defend it a couple times, take a loss. Now, all of a sudden, you're supposed to fall all the way back to ground one. I don't think they do it. I don't think it go like that, right? So I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? It's work to do. Beat his ass and keep it moving. You get what I'm saying? Ashley's corner, Cuzzo was good. We said hurt. De Los Santos was hurt. And that's another thing. All that's going to lead to is inactivity. But even then, he had a date that supposed to have fell out. He was supposed to fight already. Remember, they had him on the, what was it, the Tank undercard? They had De Los Santos or somebody. He was supposed to fight, but it's always something. Like, them dudes deal with a lot of inactivity on that side. So there's no quick fix, man. 2 fights, I ain't tripping, man. Big thing for me, handle business against Cordina. Block out what the fans say. Go win in spectacular fashion. Show separation. Show your level against his. And then make sure they secure that Zapata fight for you. And I think all will be good. You know what I'm saying? All will be good for me. You know what I mean? Because that's 2 fights. That's 1-2. That's out the way. You know what I mean? And that still leaves the rest of the year to make any other big fight. You know what I mean? That needs to be secured. So it's simple. We just got to wait and see. I'm just not I'm not going to condemn this move a bad move until I see it play out. I ain't trying to guess into the future. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to guess that it's not going to work out. I'm not trying to guess that all of a sudden, he's not going to be able to get these fights. And again, it's very frustrating as a fight fan to see a guy constantly being turned down, but being criticized for who he's fighting more for guys turning him down than the guys. Then we don't criticize the guys that's turning them down more than we criticize him for being turned down by those guys. You get what I'm saying? It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. Craziest shit I ever seen. Craziest shit I ever seen. Again, man, I keep saying people say they're not feeling Cordina. Still ain't nobody throw a name out there that makes sense. That's all. So again, I'm not stuck on just complaining. Do you have a better option? Do we know there's better options? But look, somebody say De Los Santos is hurt. So in fact, he's not a available option. Frank Martin just got knocked out. That's the same shit, right? He just got knocked out. I heard somebody say, well, if Frank Martin was a better option than this, he just got knocked out in a title shot too, right? And was never a titleist. At least Joe Cordina is. Next, move on to the next person. Who's the instead of complaining, because that's we do that a lot as boxing fans. We'll keep saying what we don't like a million times, but you can't come up with one better option, a realistic option. Consider the business of it. I don't like it either, but it's no different. It's no different than any other situation, any other promoter making an in-house fight. I'm not about to cry over that shit. I'll cry when they don't make us a pay to fight in February. For sure, you're gonna hear my mouth. But for this one, I'm just like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Foster ain't trying to move up. He fighting. He again. See, who is Foster fighting in a rematch? Robson Kinsey, right? So that's not a realistic option. Next, who else? Man, y'all do it. Y'all do it to me. Y'all really do it. I don't give a damn if Spence was a pay-per-view mega superstar, getting a title shot, coming off a knockout loss is the very thing that everybody is complaining about with Cordina. We do not get them conveniently move the goalposts and say it's okay for Spence to participate in a title fight coming off a knockout loss, a one-sided bad knockout loss because he was a pay-per-view fighter. That makes zero sense. That makes zero sense. If the fight is bad for one guy that was a former champion and defended his belt, if it's bad because he wasn't a pay-per-view, what the hell do pay-per-view got to do with an opportunity coming off a title shot, coming off a knockout loss, a title shot coming off a knockout loss? You see, that's why I say don't move. If you don't move the goalpost, then you have to keep the same energy about that fight. You had to have that same energy for Fundora and Tim Tszyu. You should have been complaining that there's no way Fundora should be in there with Tim Tszyu. You get what I'm saying? We got convenient outrage. The hell, I don't give a fuck about no pay-per-view, no numbers. None of that has anything to do with in the ring. That's for his pockets. That don't have nothing to do with the setup. He's coming off a knockout loss, right? That's what everybody's complaining about. They saying there's so many options, but I ain't heard one good option yet. I ain't heard one. I ain't heard one good option. Not one. Big B-Lo, what's good with it? Cordina don't deserve a title shot. I guess Errol Spence don't deserve a title shot. I guess Fundora didn't deserve a title shot. You just got to keep it. You just got to keep the energy consistent is all I'm saying. Just keep the energy consistent. LaMarcus, what's good with it? Yeah, but the thing is, how are you criticizing a fighter that's being turned down if he's not the one turning down fights, Dragon? How? Make that make sense. How could you criticize the fighter that's not turning guys down more than you criticizing the guys that's turning them down? Don't make sense. It don't make sense. James, what's good with it, family? Salute to you, bro. Frank announced he going to 40, didn't he? I thought he did, Cal. I thought he did. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying the same thing. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's the same thing. We don't get no pay-per-view numbers. Don't got nothing to do with you getting knocked out the fight before and getting your ass whooped. And then getting a title shot coming off the loss. You get what I'm saying? He was on pay-per-view, so it makes sense. What? What? That shit don't matter. That shit don't matter. Title shot off a knockout loss is a title shot off a knockout loss. If you're going to complain about one, complain about all of them. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, and then place the blame in the right place. You blaming the fighter that, again, that's not turning down no smoke from none of these dudes. And ain't nobody call this bluff. Yeah, I'm a little sick of the slander. I really am. It's weak. Night Rider, what's good with it? Ain't that many names for match room, which is why him going over there was weird. If him going over there, Night Rider, without a bigger fight in plan, more than 2 or 3 fights, I think it would be weird. I don't think it's weird because you basically telling him to do what in the meantime, Night Rider? To do what? Sit on his hands and knees and pray that Tank call him? That's what he supposed to do? That's really what y'all think. Keyshawn versus Mordecai. That's a great fight, but I don't think they're gonna make it now. I love to see it, but I don't think they'd make it. I don't think they'd make it. I wouldn't, especially if it leads to a Loma fight. Which one? Which one, Don? I mean, Thomas. Don, my guy, what's good with it, bro? What's good with you, man? It's only one fight, and it'll be all right. Quick tune up and move on. Trying to make sure Shakur and Cruz in the future. I wouldn't be mad, but that's a little bit down the line. Shit, he wouldn't be there. 2 fights ain't long enough to overly exaggerate the move. You act like he signed his life away. You talking about a fight that should be, if they do it when he's supposed to, when they're supposed to, is around February. You talking about the first quarter. You literally hearing the guy that y'all keep asking about fighting for the first quarter too. Possibly having to fight. If he don't make this November trip, you don't get an opponent, you're going to see him next year as well. So I don't see what the big issue is. I really don't. How come nobody calling out Baranchik? Probably because, I don't know, maybe politics, bro. Shakur not over there no more. I know Bob ain't going to do that. I think, you know, all things real, like if Tank is not able to get a Loma, I think that makes sense for him. You know what I mean? I think it makes sense for either the champions to unify, Remo. I just don't see nobody giving him up right now. I don't know what Bob gonna do with Baranchik. I did hear him as a potential Tank opponent too, but we just don't know. I ain't about to over speculate, but it could be anybody at this point. They should be happy with Zepeda. Some think he beat Shakur. My thing is, Dante, I look at the longer picture, not just the first fight, right? I get that a guy said not right now, so they filled him with a quick Eddie Hearn special. Am I happy? No, but I ain't about to cry and be mad at Shakur. Oh, well, he signed over there. Well, what was he supposed to sign? Y'all, people act like they got all the options. Like, oh, well, he should have went to PBC. Somebody tell me what PBC date is for October. Any PBC dates for October? I ain't saying they ain't got none. I just want to know. A reign of peace to the queen. How you feeling today? Zach B, my guy, what it do, man? What it do, homie? Zoo about to get another title shot after a loss. Yep, he is. He is. He is. But ain't no, again, we place the blame at the wrong people. We act like we know what's best for these fighters. You don't even know what his options is. People keep saying PBC this, PBC that. Nobody in here said it, but I just don't see. I don't even know if that was an option. Who knows if they even reached out? Salute to my guy, being Boxing News. Malazzo was good with it, man. Yeah, the convenient outrage, Lisa. They be pissed off. That's all I'm trying to say. Just I don't know what's the fuss about. what's the fuss about? Especially when a guy say he want to stay active. You get what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Shakur Cardin is a good look for him, and people trying to justify that he is. That's all. Again, it all depends on how you're looking at it, Dragon. What are you looking at it that is not a good fight? Is Cordina not a good fighter? That makes it not a good fight? Because again, if we talking about is it a good fight? Again, I said off the setup, just coming off a knockout loss for a champion. Nah, I think you could have found something better. But then when I look at the totality of the situation and the guy that they was targeting first had a baby and said, look, we'll fight in February, and they replaced him in the meantime, I'm not tripping. Again, Eddie Hearn is trying to put him in front of a different audience. So he thinking from a promoter, not just somebody, a single fan complaining. Like, because again, if it's not the knockout loss that why it's a bad fight, then what makes it a bad fight? Because Cordina's not a trash fighter. He's a former champion. A lot of guys ain't fighting a former champion in their next fight. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know what makes it a bad fight. I thought that was the reason people was complaining, because he got knocked out in his fight before, and they like, yo, he don't deserve to get a title shot. Other than that, if you telling me Joe Cordina is a bad fighter, then I can't agree with that. I don't think that. You get what I'm saying? Is he on Shakur level? It remains to be seen. I don't think so, but I don't think he's a bad fighter. He had about 4. He had, to his credit, he got more fights as a lightweight than Shakur do. So again, we got to be like, well, I want to know why it's a bad fight. I thought for me, the setup, like, you get what I'm saying? You could have gave him somebody not coming off a loss. It just gives people more ammunition to talk shit, because they ain't gonna understand. You just filled him in with the expectation that this bigger fight is at the back end. I'm not crying and complaining, bro. People keep saying, well, he don't got no lightweights over there, which is why I would think he only signed for right now for 2 fights. Because you don't got lightweights. Oh, yeah, that's what I got to do to get the Zepeda fight. who knows? Maybe that's what he think he's sacrificing. I got to fight him to get him. Cool, then I'm gonna get him. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just not gonna be complaining all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, it's a bad look. Nah, only if you don't understand it, man. Only if you can't get that bigger fight at the back end, it's gonna be a shitty move. Saying folks complaining moving goalposts is very reason I've been falling back in the chats. I hate it. I just try to tell me when I'm leaving anything out, bro, when I ain't putting it in this proper context and perspective. That's all. We have a lot that we don't like, but we don't have no real solutions, and it ain't gonna really change nothing being mad. But that's why I'm always coming from a standpoint where I'm trying to understand rather than just be another dude criticizing. Oh, this looks bad. This looks bad. No, it look bad if you lose. Look bad if you get your ass beat by a guy that just came off a knockout loss, defending your belt. Yeah, that'll look bad. That's going to look bad. Look bad if you struggle against this guy. That would look bad. It'll look even worse if you can't secure the bigger fight at the back end. That'll look terrible for me. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Rather get KO'd by the best fighter in the world. I mean, that's again that, you know, a knockout loss is a knockout loss, bro. Getting knocked out, period, is just getting knocked out. You get what I'm saying? Like a loss is a loss at the end of the day, right? I mean, playing better options, Chamberlain, Cruz, they better all because you said so. That's your opinion, PGH, and I ain't saying you wrong. I would never, and I don't even disagree. But are they realistic options for him? How many of those other fighters are Eddie Hearn fighters? And I know you're not talking about Andy Cruz. Please, I know you're not talking about Andy Cruz. I know you're not telling him to fight a guy with 4 fights. That can't be what you're doing. Yeah, you just mad today. You don't got a better option though, because you can't name one, a realistic one. You know what I mean? A realistic option. You know what I mean? A realistic option. A realistic option. Salute to the queen, Aisha. How you feeling, queen? Fundura's a replacement for Thurman. Listen, I ain't trying to hear none of that. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to hear the stuff I already know. Tell me something that I don't know. Luke Collazo, what's good with it, bro? If he gets a paid in February and the contract is over, Tank still won't be ready. My thing is, I think people are just complaining for the sake of complaining. You don't have better options. You don't have a better idea than the promoter himself. You might act like you do, but the fact that you just named a guy, y'all out here naming guys with 4 fights, telling me a 3-division champion should fight. He should fight a guy with 4 fights as opposed to a guy that was a former champion, fought at the weight class before. You get what I'm saying? Defending his belt. That's a bad look, but not fighting a guy with 4 fights because he got his biggest accomplishment is beating Keyshawn Davis in the amateurs. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. LWBoxing, my guy. What's good with the fax machine? How you feeling, bro? Murtaza versus Zoo, October 19th. PBC on Amazon Prime. That's a banger. I like that one. I like Tim Zoo, man. I'm rooting for Tim Zoo in that. Shout out to Dub, man. Always coming through, man. With the info. Cornelius, my guy. What's good with it, bro? How you feeling? How you feeling? What's a better fight, Don? What's a better fight, Don? We could talk about it. We ain't got to keep complaining, though. Like, how many times we've been saying that shit since it's been announced? Howdy, partner. How you feeling, Heather E? Not in these circumstances, I don't think. You get what I'm saying, Heather E? Not with Eddie Hearn under them circumstances. You know what I mean? Not under them circumstances. The Cordina was never the same in that case fight after he got hit. After the bell in the second round. Hey, I'm willing to bet you, Dub. I'm willing to bet you, and you know, I'm willing to bet anybody in here that they didn't know that. I'm willing to bet that's not even something people consider. When they say it's a bad fight, they can't even tell you why. If the fighter is not a bad fight, then what makes it a bad fight? I thought it was the setup of the fight. You get what I'm saying? With the expectation of bigger fights, and then you get Cordina. I feel like people like, well, you know, Zepeda, Cordina, you know, Tank, Cordina. You get what I'm saying? I get that, but I thought that maybe the loss, maybe coming off a loss, they like, man, you don't deserve to fight for a title coming off a loss. I thought it was that. But again, when you talking about with Eddie Hearn, what is the better option over there? He wasn't going to do nothing but pick an in-house fight. You know what I mean? The same thing any other promoter would have did, like they always do. Pick in-house fights first. Zepeda signed the Golden Point. I know it's Zepeda signed that. I know it's Zepeda. What's your point? I know that. Y'all just naming stuff, bro. Y'all just naming stuff, bro. We've been through that already, Kid Austin. So you telling him. So you tell, yeah, that's Big B Low. You saying for you in your mind, you feel like those are better fights. Look, I'm not gonna argue with you, but are they realistic options? Do you think Oscar De La Hoya is trying to make Shakur and Kid Austin right now? Do you think Bob Arum is trying to give Shakur an opportunity at Muay Thai right now? I know what Robert Garcia said, but have you heard Bob Arum say? Because that's, I mean, you get what I'm saying? We naming people that's not with Eddie Hearn, so none of that stuff is not saying that they're not better fights, right? But are they realistic options? You telling me he gonna go outside of his stable and he gonna go to one of them first, right? Why would he do that? The shoe was on the other foot. Would they be looking for Eddie Hearn roster to make a fight with a guy that they just signed? That make it. You get what I'm saying? Don't seem like the way these promoters be moving. You get what I'm saying? Chamberlain has a fight on September 21st, and he's fighting Baranchik in December. Chamberlain wasn't available for Shakur. Shout out to my guy Dub. The fax machine always strikes, man. That's why I call him the fax machine, bro. Always on point. That's why I say, man, I'm cool with somebody saying it was not a good fight, but it's at a certain point we beating a dead horse. We keep saying all these better options, but people starting to sound crazy. Y'all naming Andy Cruz. Y'all naming Kid Austin. Like, is there better options for you personally as a fight fan? I'm talking about realistic options. Realistic options, yo. Realistic. Them fights ain't happening right now. And that dude is what you think he probably a ways away from competing from a title. His dad even said that. So again, how the hell is Kid Austin even in contention? You got to remove him next. He said Chamberlain, he already got fights. As a matter of fact, that's the guy I think on BoxRec, Dub. He got 2 dates lined up, if I'm not mistaken. Chamberlain, the Chamberlain kid. I think so. Tay, the real queen of MMA combat. How you feeling, queen? That's why I'm saying, like, we just be throwing out names. We ain't being realistic. You got to be realistic. Instead of just being mad, it's one fight. You know what I'm saying? It's one fight. Get him out the way and move on. You know what I'm saying? To get him out the way and move on, bro. It's a 2-fight deal. People losing their minds. Like, that's going to take us a lifetime to do that. To fulfill 2 fights. Andy beating Joe right now. Joe who? Yeah, crazy. But I have Andy beating Joe. Oh, Joe Cordina right now. Oh, okay. I mean, look, I don't argue people's opinions, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't. It's okay. If you have Andy beating Joe Cordina right now. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't know too much about Joe Cordina. Ace, you probably ain't watching too much. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Kanisha Cordell is the same as when Tank announced Hector with Ryan. Fight behind it. Talk to him. Talk to him. People just complain just to be complaining. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Don't be mad at Corey Nice. You know what I mean? You know? Like I said, man, y'all gotta be mad at the fighters for turning down smoke. You get what I'm saying? Don't be mad at dudes for going to get their money. And I'm about to play a quick clip right here. I think I sent it to my guy, Ann McQueen. This is exactly why I don't tell guys to not go get their money. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly why. You know what I mean? Carnival worker Devin Swung on the miss. Shit, man. Sadiq Brown, what it do, my guy? How you feeling, Brody? What's good with it? Dre in the building. What's good with it, man? Gary, Cully, man. Yeah. I say a realistic fight. Realistic. I hear them names though, Brody. I hear them, but they ain't realistic. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Andre. You know what I mean? They ain't realistic. You know what I mean? Hey, Helene. That's all I'm saying. If they just stop saying no, bro. When he starts saying no, I'll get on his helmet immediately. I promise y'all. I owe that to y'all. I will. But until these dudes stop saying no, I can't be mad at the fighter that's getting said no to him and having to settle for what he got to settle for. Tell me when I'm lying. Don't tell me all these people he's supposed to chase and make fights by us. I'm not trying to hear none of that. When he starts saying no to fights, turning fights down left and right and fighting subpar opposition, I fillet his ass gladly. But I don't see him moving like that ever. I'm the best 35 pounders. He got 4 fights. I mean, listen, he has the potential, Malaza. I get you. I'm with you. He has the potential to be one of the best 35 pounders, right? He got the potential, but in 4 fights, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? He don't have the body of work to back up that claim. But I think potentially, yes, he got it all, man. I like Andy Cruz. Ernest Johnson, what it do, man? I had 4 fights saying that guy should fight Shakur is wild. You know what I'm saying? Moritai is with Top Rank, right? And Shakur just signed with Eddie Hearn. Y'all keep naming these cross promotional fights like y'all don't know the game. Nah, as long as he was with Eddie Hearn, I think it was realistic, bro. And he, like I say, he got more fights at lightweight than Shakur do. CJ, what's good with it, my guy? He on the under. He's on. Shakur is not the main event. Who cares? Shit, who cares about that? I don't care. As long as I get to watch, you know. The fight was not available. I'm saying for what Hearn said about him being popular in the UK. Shakur Brand Hearn lied. What did he lie about? Yeah, again, y'all got a pen. You just have a pen. What is he lying about? You saying something about him being popular in the UK? Who's not popular in the UK? Joe Cordina? Why? What the hell? I'm trying to understand. Look, man, come talk to me, man. Y'all gotta come talk to me, man. Y'all know it's always a conversation. It's not a me versus you. I just be wanting to hear y'all out. I'll be trying to hear what y'all saying. Eddie Hearn lied about who being popular, Shakur or Cordina? Cordina was one of the better fighters in the UK that they was pushing. I don't know if you're familiar with Cordina or not, but again, fighting in front of a different dem. I'm trying to understand. I don't know. Y'all watch boxing to be mad at everything they say. I don't watch it that way. Every little thing. Oh, Cordina, you telling me Cordina's not popular in the UK? Why would you think he not? Why? Why you don't think Cordina is popular in the UK? Why not? He a UK fighter. He was one of their top guys until he took that loss. And then again, we talking about the UK. So even with the loss, they still love Joe Cordina over there. What the hell? Hell yeah, they love Cordina Dragon. They love Cordina over there, Brody. They do. So again, if you know who Cordina is, then you gotta know that the people rock with him over there. What you thinking about? Because he lost. Like what evidence do you got to back that he ain't popular over there? I'm like, what's going on? Cordina a hero around his parts in the UK? For sure he is. For sure he is. He is, man. They like They like Joey from his parts, bro. They like Joey. They like Joey. I can't tell y'all I like the setup of the fight either, y'all. You know, I can't tell y'all I like the setup of the fight either, but I can't tell y'all it's a bad fight. You know, I can name fights that I think would be better, but then when you just look at where you went and the timing of things, it's pickings are slim over there in Matchroom for them lightweights. Y'all know that. You know what I mean? Gary Cully, that's not serious. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? To me, Joe Cordina strung about, you know, before he lost, he had a run of about 4 or 5 straight good quality wins, in my opinion, that all of them was overlooked. So I don't know. I can't cry about him. I think he's a good fighter. I think Dub mentioned that he's with Ben Davison, where he haven't lost with him. I think he said Ben Davison ain't lost in a while, something to that effect. It's a lot of other stuff to consider if you talking more than surface level. But if you only think it's surface level, then you're going to sit up here and complain. But if you can't tell me a guy is a bad fighter, then I don't understand what makes it a bad fight. Maybe all this bad look stuff to who? Who gives a damn what somebody looking at? As long as they be looking when he fighting, when he beating Cordina on the 12th of October, as long as they watching. You know what I mean? Who lost the IBI title? Yes, he is popular. He absolutely is. Nice could be art and fight. Cordina next wasn't realistic. Nah, it just wasn't in the plans. It wasn't something nobody could think of. You know what I mean? After that, he was a free agent. So, you know, you don't know what was off the table, right? You don't know. We just be saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You know what I mean? Smash crap in their face to give them believe it stinks. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I just know what a bad fighter is to me. I know what a bad fighter is. I just don't think Joe Cordina after one loss is a bad fighter. You know what I mean? Because Shakur on pay-per-view, y'all 98% of boxers stream the fights anyway. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, stream team. You got people posting pictures of 5 sticks in the comments. We be ready to throw Joe Frazier away after he knocked out by George Foreman in this day and age. Hell yeah, Ant McQueen in the garbage. Ernest, my guy, was good with it. But like Eddie and them playing the long game, yeah, it's real tricky. My thing, Ernest, and you might be right, bro. I feel like for me, as long as they deliver on that bigger name fighter, right, the name that I think would do something for his profile, right? Joe Cordina probably it doesn't drop his stock, it doesn't raise his stock, right? I think it just stays where it's at, respectfully, even though he's a solid fighter, good fighter. You know what I'm saying? Good fighter, former champion. But I think as a Zepeda and you knocking him off, I think that might, you know what I mean, elevate things for you. And if you know if that's at the end of 2 fights, then you still got the rest of the year to try to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? For sure, Thomas. For sure. Forgot the name of the fighter. B. Cordina Anthony Cacase. I don't know if I'm butchering his last name. He only had 1 loss to his credit too, but I see everybody was like, well, he only had 8 knockouts before that or something like that. Shit, man, Joe Cordina was cooked at that weight class. He should have took his ass up to 35. He shouldn't even took that fight at 30 again. I think he was compromised. I think his mobility was compromised, and he just like a sitting duck. And he got beat up. He got beat up. No other way to put it. He got beat up. Joe Cordina got his ass beat in his last fight. You know, he got beat up. But if you watch him, you'll know he don't fight that way. You know what I mean? He was compromised. Like I said, when your body is telling you to go up in weight and you going against it, you're going to pay the ultimate price. That's what it is. Joe Cordina paid the ultimate price, and it was a knockout defeat. He got smoked. You know what I'm saying? He got smoked like a pack of cools, y'all. My bad, y'all. My bad. On ESPN Boxing homepage says Shakur on the undercard. Yeah. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't change nothing. In a different situation, the opportunity is gonna be different. The goal, bro, is to keep winning. Doesn't make a difference if you're a main event or a co-main. If you still getting paid like a main event fighter, why does it matter? People still gonna see you fight, right? It's an undisputed fight that's over you. It ain't like it's some run-of-the-mill fighters that's fighting over you. I mean, that's an ego thing. I'm glad that shit ain't even phasing him. I'm glad he ain't let that stop him. I'm glad he like, man, hey, man, gotta go get that bag, man. Like I said, international core loading. You know what I'm saying? International core loading, man. You know what I'm saying? Joe Frazier, one of the all-time favorites for sure. Joe Frazier, a dog, man. But no contract, so he should be able to fight whoever at this point. Sure that this fight was presenting the deal, so why not take it? And nah, for sure, frequent. Like, that's why I say people be thinking these fighters supposed to stay stuck on stupid and do what they say do at home. Says the guy that never made a boxing match in his life. Yeah, he should do this. He should sign this. Nah, he should do exactly what he's doing. Nothing long term. Stand on business. Make them deliver you a big fight at the back end and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? See what your options are from there and just keep doing that. Keep moving like that. Allow yourself that flexibility. And I don't think you taking opportunities off the table for yourself that way. You know what I'm saying? I think long-term deals kind of take opportunities right off the table for you because you know how these promoters play games. So we got to see, you know what I'm saying? I'm just glad that he get to continue his career. You know what I'm saying? He got somebody that was interested in him. We don't consider none of that when we talk about what a fighter should do. You know what I mean? Sound like he went with who wanted him. You know what I'm saying? We keep saying, throwing these other names out there. We don't know if those people wanted him. We don't know if they presented him with anything. You just don't know. So again, you go with who's presenting you with the opportunities that you see best for your career, and you go handle business, bro. Go handle business. That's it. Call friend who sparred. Case was for years 16-ounce gloves. So Case is the biggest puncher he's ever been in the ring with. Who else gonna know that? That's why I call him the fax machine. That's my guy, man. Salute the dub. That's why I say, man, I'm all about digging deeper than the surface, yo. It's surface level to say the dude was knocked out and he got beat by this. Oh, he only had this many knockouts. None of that shit matter if you know what you was watching. You go watch, and of course it's a loss, but you go watch and see if you see any other fight where Joe Cordina fought the way he did in his loss. And I'm talking about from a mobility standpoint alone. Punch output, the way he was just standing there stationary like just a heavy bag just getting punched. I was like, oh, he clearly compromised. And then you see it Raymond Ford do the same thing, go make the weight after he said he was going up, knowing he was compromised in the fight before and pulled it out his ass, right? Gutted it out late. Then he could make the weight again, and then he looked like half of what he normally looked like. And people ain't trying to hear that, but I'm able to see it because I'm a real one. I'm like, that dude was compromised. You got to go up. And this is another thing, them weight cuts. You had a bad weight cut to fight before Cordina did. You turn around and have another one. This is why guys get knocked out. This is why I played that weight cutting documentary when they tell you you draining all that fluid from your body and your brain, then you trying to hurry up and put it back and go in there and fight at these small ass weight classes to make money. Get yourself hurt like that. You know what I'm saying? You get yourself hurt. Salute the boxing hacker, my guy. Appreciate the love, homie. You speaking too much facts. People keep discrediting Shakur ever since he started getting lined up with Tank. Cordell was right for him. I mean, look, and I understand people thinking about other options because y'all just thinking about one fight. But my thing that I I throw out there for people to digest. I think making moves until that fight is somewhere on the table for you makes all the sense in the world, and I think that's exactly what he did. I don't think he could have did nothing. I ain't gonna say he could have did nothing better, but he probably did what he felt was best for him, obviously. And again, unless you are of the belief that this move is directly an attempt to get away from the biggest fight that boxing has to offer you, the fight that you said you wanted, then maybe you go crazy and criticize it. If you think signing on for 2 fights take you out of contention in the fight Tank Davis, maybe you have a big issue with it. But if you look at it as what I think it really is and what it's been, offer is there for them to fight each other. So you know what? Okay, in the meantime, I'm gonna go over here and do this. 2 fights. That's the early part of next year. They told my buddy coming back early part of next year. It's simple math. Go handle business. You don't got to dedicate your life to something that's gonna happen when it happens, right? What happened to the A side this and the A side that? So you just gotta wait till that situation present itself to you, and then when it do, I don't want to hear pricing out and ducking and turning nothing down. Like I want to hear that. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's very premature. I think it's early. I think just let a little bit of boxing happen. Let some things shape up, and we gonna, all this shit will come out to the wash. But I'm just not of the belief there was any offer for a particular fight, which is why it gave him the opportunity to go do exactly what he's doing right now, which ain't gonna take too much of his time. You stay active. He said he wanted to stay active, make a bag. He said he's chasing that bag. He also said he's chasing greatness. I think if you're able to get the bigger name on the back end, that can elevate the profile. Maybe Cordina not so much. I don't think it lowers you or raises you, but I think you stay right the same because of the optics, right? You know what I mean? Maybe the perception. But at the end of the day, you get the better fight at the back end. You do away with him. Then now your options are right back available for you to move freely and see what makes sense for you. See if you can secure the biggest fight for you. But I don't have enough. All I'm saying is I don't have enough to say you avoiding this or you avoid. I don't have enough to go off. I'll just be grasping at straws for the information I got. You know what I'm saying? And that is not what people making it seem. So.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Shout out to my guy, man, boxing actor. Big Dog Willie, my guy. Appreciate you as always. Opulent LD TV. What's good, famo? How you feeling, bro? What's good with it? Good spokesperson. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you. I try, man. I try. All my takes is gonna be to just give y'all a good boxing conversation. I don't really care about the news. I just care about a good, real boxing conversation with no narratives. You know what I'm saying? So I think in due time, this fight is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But the opportunity is gonna present itself in, I think, a much more consistent manner than what we've been getting now. And like I said, I think as boxing fans, we deserve better. We deserve information that we can take and break down and discuss and talk about. I hate the misinformation, you know what I'm saying? Definitely goes to Floyd Thomas. What's good with it, fam? I feel you, man. It's tough, man. There's some big shoes to fill, man. Yeah, he got to eat. And again, I think time and context is important, right? I keep saying this, like I heard him saying, I ain't no more long-term nothing. Then when I go hear 2 fights, I'm like, yeah, I'm throwing a thumb up, like, yeah, smart move. Like, just don't lock in nowhere where people can play with you. Like, again, look, this is how I look at it, because I see some people saying, maybe he don't get the Zepeda fight. We seen Eddie do this with Demetrius Andrade, X, Y, and Z, right? I get it. I understand the reservations, but for me, I'm a more optimistic guy. I'm just trying to let it happen, right? If I think in 2 fights, right? One is Cordina, it's a title defense. You get a bag, you fight in front of a different audience. It's on a pay-per-view event. People only seeing it one way. If he's not a pay-per-view fighter, why would he be headlining the pay-per-view? People scream all day in different chats, all on social media and his comment sections. You don't sell, which is not true. But you say all day he's not a pay-per-view star, which he not. So why would he headline the pay-per-view? Don't make a lot of sense. Why is it a big deal if he a co-main? I don't care about that. It don't dim his light at all as a star or a fighter, should I say, at all. So I think it's a different opportunity for him, right? Shit, how many pay-per-view events he fought on? So it's just a different event, different opportunity. You know, is it the best name of ever? No, of course not. But I ain't about to cry. It's an opportunity. The show must go on. And for me, the most important thing is securing the fight that makes the most sense on the back end. If you can't do that, then I don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I mean? And like I said, if you're not able to get that second fight, now you get what I'm saying? You can cut your ties early, and you ain't even got to do business any further. So I think that's what I look at these two fights. I look at it as a trial run, right? I look at Damon, what's good with it, bro? I look at it as a trial run, bro. If they don't do right by you in these couple fights, then you got an opportunity to go elsewhere and say, yo, they screwed me over. You know what I'm saying? It's better that than signing on for any long extended period of time, and you get what I'm saying, getting jerked the long way. So we'll see, man. So I heard Floyd made 20 mil for that circus fight, literally stealing from the boxing fans. I feel you, man. So Payton don't take the Shakur fight in February. Then the WBC will order the next in line. That's Raymond Mortai. Shout out to my guy, the fax machine, L Dub. Always full of information. Appreciate you, bro. So again, you know, and that wouldn't be fully on the promoter as much as it is these guys just not taking fights. So it doesn't matter what promoter he signs on to. No promoter can make any one fighter say yeah to fighting him. People act like, you know, depending on what promoter he got, they can just force a fight. This bullshit. We've seen this time and time. Can you fighter don't want to fight? They ain't got to sign on no contract. Can't nobody make them do nothing. So it doesn't matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? The opportunities that present themselves, the opportunity that you're able to get, that's what matters. So I don't know, man. If he says no again, no, this time then we know what it is. You get what I'm saying? Just repeat that last message I sent you. That's what core. The main event talk coming from. Oh, all right, bet. I got you, Kyle. I'm gonna check it. Shout out to my guy Ernest. It's a sure main event. So I'm just stop the cat. Yeah, I mean, I think what you hearing on Big B-Lo, they saying look, what was it? The zone portion of it is supposed to be the main event, then they switching over to ESPN. That's why they said the main event on I think the zone portion, if I got it right, the zone portion, and then they switching over to ESPN or something to that effect. But that's neither here or there for me. I could care less. I'm gonna watch it regardless. Now, I mean, we got an undisputed fight. You got J.O. Patai returning. You got Fabio Worley and Fraser Clark rematch. Aquaflex, what it do, my guy? Safe travels, bro. So I think it's a good card that I'm gonna watch. Matter of fact, I know it's a good card. I'm gonna check it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna check it out. You know what I mean? I don't know, Big B-Lo. I think you be making points by yourself, bro. You be stating the obvious, man. You are you saying this to me? Pay-per-view star or not? Shakur is 10 biggest competition. But okay, yeah, facts. That's 100%. He is. They each other's biggest competition in my eyes. I don't think numbers is gonna matter when it comes to that. You get what I'm saying? I don't think the numbers gonna matter when it comes to that. But we'll see, man. We will see, man. But let's keep rocking, man. So we just know what it is. We just got to see if Eddie Hearn and company going to deliver. And on top of that, you got to see if, you know, once that opportunity is there, if he's to get past Cordena in October, you know what I mean? Next man up, you know what I mean? And like I said, shout out to the plug, man. He ain't mislead me yet. I don't know where everybody getting all that offer news from. It's neither here or there, and I'm going to just keep it pushing. Now, I'm with you, Big B-Lo. They each other's biggest competition, man. And that's why they're going to always be linked, especially in the same division. As they should, as we should always put pressure on the best to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? No matter what division it's in. You know what I mean? We're going to step in the ring with little Debo out there punching lights out, bro. But, you know what I mean? Like I said, I think it would be a feather in his cap to be able to get Loma in the ring with him. I mean, I dropped the link for y'all too, man. If y'all, let me drop it again for y'all, man, because I see y'all asking. But look, I think it'd be a feather in his cap to get get Loma in there. But again, if he couldn't get that, if he was to fight Dennis Baranchik, I think that'd be a cool fight for him too. Because I think his greatness he don't need to be held back either. It's not just Core I'm looking at both. Both guys need to be in unification fights respectfully. True, for real. It should be, they should be two fights, well, one fight in between each other. You get what I'm saying? A unification for both and just meet in the middle. But man, and we know they don't like to deliver like that. Mike Biggs Boxing, my bro, what's good with it, fam? How you feeling, Brody? CJ in the building, what's good with it, my guy? What's good, bro?
Salute to you.
How you feeling,
Happy
man?
Monday.
Always good to hear from you, man.
Appreciate that. As good as a Monday could be. I'm just now tapping in maybe the last 5 minutes, so excuse me if I make you repeat yourself. But
nah, it's all good, bro. All good.
The topic we speaking on is and Shakur signing to Eddie Hearn, right? Matchroom. All right.
Right.
That's a good look for him. He needs a promoter behind him. Because he ain't got that I don't know if you want to call it that independent grind like Devin Haney and his pops. So I'm glad to see him sign with somebody and keep his career moving along. Now, what have you heard in regards to his next fight? What's the latest? Because it seems like the news changing every day, so I want to be up on the latest.
Oh, you talking about his next fight?
Yeah.
Cordina, October 12th. Co-main for B One Better Be, right. And
that's
then
right.
It's supposed to be a 2-fight deal with Eddie and Matchroom. Zepeda's supposed to be in February.
Okay, so, I wouldn't mind that. But I'm along the same lines of thinking as you that both Shakur and Tank need to be moving to unify. I was saying the same shit about Boots yesterday on another platform.
Same situation with Shakur, with Eddie, somebody that, and I really wonder, I don't know everything, y'all. So I'm always trying to find the right answers before I come up here and just not say anything. But Eddie seemed like he in a position where it might be a matter of money. And I've heard him say, if somebody pledge, I'm gonna keep saying he pledged your loyalty, he basically going to bat for you. He was saying he'll be willing to take a hit or possibly lose money. So I don't think that's a case where you gotta lose any money, but shit, I think you could pay B Norman, man, and make that fight. His pop said he is 99% sure it could happen. I know that's just him being optimistic, but damn, that's right there. Eddie got to make that happen because it can't all be everybody getting lowballed, man. Do not let that be the reason Boots don't get a unification, bro. If you can do it, you got somebody that willing to work with you, pay that man, yo. You got to get that man, because anything less, you're not going to be able to move his profile. And it's the same with Shakur. If you can't secure him a marquee name, Zepeda is not a world champion, but he's a danger. He's a threat, right? A different style. It's a good fight to make for somebody like Shakur stylistically, see how they match up. So you're in that position where you want to secure these opportunities for these dudes.
No, I definitely feel you. And yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. He got both them fighters over there now. So yeah. That's definitely the onus, if you will, is on Hearn to keep their careers progressing forward. Don't give them no bullshit fights. At least a threat, preferably unification, but at least no more bullshit fights. I heard goddamn I forget Boots Pop's name, but he said he don't want to take Bozy in it. He don't want to take a step down. He don't want to take a step back. In my mind, if you already got one belt that's been emailed to you, the only step forward is unification. You feel me? So I hope that Norman deal does come through. And I've chopped it up with Norman Sr. before. And yeah, man, I know they're looking for big fights. I love a fighter that's hungry and looking to prove himself. Now, you said something about, I see in the title that he got dropped in sparring.
Oh, you see, my guy, he actually read the descriptions, man. My guy, he go past the title. Yeah, you know what? I could play a little quick clip just so you could see it. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta play the whole video because it was like 8 minutes, but it happened early.
Gotcha.
Oh shit!
All right. I see you. Little flash knockdown.
Yeah, he hopped right back up, smiling. No,
yeah.
I see the back and forth with him and his pops, and that's by the way, that's Quadir Albright. That's Nair Albright's brother. That's the one. That's Keyshawn's opponent brother that he been going back and forth with the sparring wars. I've been seeing dude posting them up and Brian Norman Sr. They've been going back and forth. I don't know. I thought just that stuff entertainment for me. Like I don't get too high, too low on sparring. It happens, you know. People get heated. You drop a clip, they don't like it. People can know who it is, and then they go from there. But I like it more if it result into a fight. You know, I like it more. So I know they not gonna fight right now, but to hell with that, man. The Boots fight is that's the fight. That's the fight for them. They need
Yeah,
each
that's
other.
a ticket. That's looking spicy right now. I hope so, man.
Mm-hmm.
If not that, of course, like I said, unification, a Stanionis, a Barrios. But man, I would love to see that one. That's my top pick for a fight at 147. So yeah, man.
It's this fighter, Jay. I gotta get his name for you. I gotta ask my bro. He never been I think knocked down or out as a professional. I don't know a period in his life or in sparring. I'll have to ask him, but he came damn close. I think it's somebody, but it'll be somebody you don't know probably or don't expect. One of them names. I gotta ask the bro though. But yeah, man. Look, I feel like if sparring is put out with the ideal that we learning, it's like both teams understand, as long as it don't lead to beef, right? Right now it's a little heated between them, but they seem like they really having fun, bro. And that's another thing. It's for me, it's the direction that it go. It's not going nowhere where nobody's getting hurt. I'm cool. Like they getting their names out there, they getting talked about. I know Albright enjoying it, man. He putting in some work. People getting to see him. He like 7-0, I believe. So he's a good young fighter. I get it, man. I get it. I just don't, I don't totally dismiss sparring, but it's not the end all be all. It's work. You know what I'm saying? It's work at the end.
Yeah, you don't put too much stock in it. Barry Bonds used to strike out sometimes, so it is what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody perfect.
You see Steph Curry go 1 for 12 from 3, bro. We told me my bro was having this talk on the phone, bro. You see it all.
Real shit. You know I'm from the Bay, so I'm familiar with that. Yeah, we see the ups and the downs.
10-1. Pardon me, Tay. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you. 10-1. Is he? Damn, I'm tripping. Hold on. Did I put
you're talking about
Albright. Albright? Let me see something real quick. I'm tripping. Appreciate you though. Get me right if I had that wrong. Pardon me, y'all. Old school. What's good with it, family? How you feeling, man? Yeah, right. It's not a death match, so especially when these dudes be in there working, bro. Some of these dudes really be in there working with each other. So,
and I get that impression from Norman Jr. I really get that he's dedicated to his craft, from what I can see.
Yeah,
and that's just gonna happen, man. If you really in the gym, you ain't gonna be perfect. So it is what it is. I'm not mad at him, man. I would love to see that Boots fight. But back to Shakur. So I would have liked to see him take on better competition in his first fight back, because what he want payday, like Canelo says. So he need to chill out, champ. Hold on, stay. He needs to take on the best competition he can to change the public perception. Maybe this is my personal theory. Maybe he's looking for somebody he can knock out to be exciting. You dig? And then that would get the public on his side.
Yeah, that's an interesting point that you're making, because I think too part of him wanting to promote Shakur and maybe is making him look as good as he can. And if that's putting him in there, like, think about it. One thing I feel like Top Rank did intentionally was put him in there with a certain fighter so they could get a certain result. You get what I'm saying? Wasn't a bad fight, but it was enough to get people going crazy, right? And I think Eddie Hearn, in his case, he trying to win him over. He want to do business for the foreseeable future. I'm pretty sure he want to do business past these two fights. So I think he is trying to put him in a position to look good. And I think as a promoter, that's what he's supposed to do. But we diehards, we want to see you do that with the best possible. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Sure. No. So maybe like a soft touch and then something reasonable. And between those two, raise his stock and make him want to re-sign with Eddie Hearn. I definitely feel what you're saying.
Right. Maybe
that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Get him a fight where he look good. Maybe you're ready to sacrifice a guy like Joe Cordina, you know what I mean, against him, right? To make him look good. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But big thing for me, Tim Layton, my guy, what's good with it, bro? The big thing is making sure you try to do everything you can to make sure Zepay to find his way in the ring, because that's a fight he definitely needs for himself. In the meantime, while you're over there, because for me, If you I like the fact that Dub just brought that up. Appreciate you saying that. If Zepeda don't take the fight, then the next WBC move in line, next in line is Muay. There you go. Another fight that people said they wanted to see. Keep in mind, he end up fighting a Muay. If that fight is next and not Zepeda, that would be who? Zepeda saying nah. So this opportunity is already set in stone for him for the most part. You know what I mean? You get the winner out of that fight, which is more than likely going to be Shakur. Not, Joe Cordina, like I said, good fighter. I think it's the difference between the two. Obviously, it's going to show. But get the.
So I'm not too familiar with Cordina. What could you tell me about him? I assume you watched the.
Busy. What's good with it, bro? Joe Cordina, a former champion, man. He had some fights at lightweight. He got, like I said, he had about 4 before he found his sweet spot at 130, it seemed like to me. And he snatched up the IBF title. You know what I mean? He went on a nice little run before he took this loss right here. So he's a good fighter. The UK, they still pushing him. I think he's still a good fighter. But if you just see the fight before last that he did one, and he squeezed by in that one against Edward Vasquez, he looked like he was spent. He had a bad weight cut for that fight. So he was supposed to go up, stayed put, and you could see how compromised he was from a mobility and energy standpoint. Like he seemed like he was a standing punching bag in that fight that he lost. Like he just, you can see a guy not able to react. It's not a matter of skill. And again, some people are only surface. They're going to say, hey, you got knocked out by a guy with 8 fights, X, Y, and Z. For me, I'm going to look, that wasn't lost because he was outskilled and none of that. You look like he was compromised and couldn't keep pace, and you got out hustled and outworked, and you was there for the taking. You was there for the beating. So I could just see a compromised fighter. I know what that looked like. So, just wasn't his night, and you could tell he should have went up.
You saying his reaction time was slower? He just looked compromised physically. Okay.
And you can tell sometimes, when a fighter, it's very similar. If you look at his fight and you look at Raymond Ford also, he had a crazy last win before he lost too. You know what I'm saying? And he had to pull that out late. Very entertaining fight. I think it was Komatov, the guy he stopped late in the 12th. But if you see the fight with Nick Ball, and he was already saying that was my last fight there, I'm going up to 130 or whatever the case. Made another pit stop down there at 26. It was very similar to Joe Cordina. If you just look at how they were standing there, just when a guy got they bounce about him, you rely on the reflexes. You'll slip a punch. You're moving. You're reacting in there. You ain't just taking it right and then trying to fire back on some tough man. That's not who you are. You get what I'm saying? And I've seen them doing too much of it. And I'm like, yeah, just drawing comparison from both fights, knowing both guys truly needed to go up. You could see it, bro. You could see it. Just compromised fighters. So he didn't lose to the guy Anthony Case because he was outskilled. He just, that guy, you belong to weight class up. I think he was compromised, and he just looked like it, bro. You know what I mean? When it's time to go up, go up. I've seen it so many times. You see it in UFC. You see it, period. When guys are killing themselves and them weight cuts, you will see the first time a guy get knocked out, drop, all that. What did you see? I think he finished the fight on his feet, but he got TKO standing up, a standing TKO. He wasn't, he ain't had no quit in him, but just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there physically. You could see it.
Hey, UFC is even more infamous for that drastic weight cuts. For TJ Dillashaw, he started getting fucked up when he was probably walk around at like 160, and he was trying to cut down to 130, something like that, somewhere in that area. You dig?
Documentary, bro. I talked about it. He was one of the first people. He was like the second one they talked about. TJ Dillashaw shrinking down, and he went out there and got knocked out in 30 seconds. Now, surface level, you like, yo, what the hell? He just went out there and got knocked out. Oh, he falling off. He ain't dead. No, asshole. Look at him. He like a strong ass crackhead, like a strong fiend, bro. I was like, damn, dude, 120, he was ripped up, but like, ripped up. I was like, nah. Then you go in there in 30 seconds, you out of there. I'm like, yo, that's more to do with the weight cut than him. That's why I said that shit is dangerous. Go your ass up, because I don't blame the typical fan. They're not trying to hear that.
Remember Oscar De La Hoya and Pacquiao? That was the same shit, right? De La Hoya cut all that weight, and he went to fight Pacquiao. He looked like a dead man in that ring.
Right, what did they fight at? They fought at 147. Am I wrong?
Right.
Yeah, I think it was 147.
Our
But
Breezy would it do, my guy?
Oscar was completely dried out. He looked like I was surprised he made it to the ring.
Yeah, when you young, sometimes you just miss all of that stuff. But I'm more of a student because I got to talk this every day. So it's important for me to understand the game and just sitting here critiquing it. And I know how important that weight cut is. This shit is not to be played with. Some people they can get by, but you'll see it affect them in different ways. With the performance is just not looking like you get what I'm saying. Go your ass up and stop playing with your body, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
he wasn't the golden boy that night. He was a gingerbread man, and he was falling apart.
Yeah, facts on that, man.
Telling you, getting punched on. So, man, I look, man, Eddie, you on the clock. I know a lot of people already deeming these two ventures to be failures already. I want to be a little bit more optimistic, man. I think Boost deserve it. I think Shakur definitely deserve it. Both of them. You know what I'm saying? Unboxing deserve it. Like anything less than the best, you wasting our time and the fighters. So we just gotta let it roll out. I know, I ain't jumping out my seat for Cordina, but I ain't crying at Shakur because again, he's not the guy saying, nah, I don't want to fight him. He's not selectively picking and saying, well, nah, this style is cool. That's not him. He just taking opportunities as a fighter, and hopefully he made the right decision and it lead to the better fighter in the back end, and all will be good. Just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Keep moving closer to that big fight.
Yo, facts on that. One thing people ignore is like when Shakur came to 135, maybe he like called out like several different people. His first run at 135, he was like calling out Pitbull. He was calling out like all the champions. Nobody signed up for it. You know.
And I don't fully blame everybody, right? Because like I said, I just be trying to understand. And I know dudes ain't 100% calling all the shots. So I know a lot of times these call outs go in vain. Now he calling them out. There ain't no fights being made. That's because dudes just ain't making any fights. But I think now we're getting to the part where it's the smoke is about to clear, and you'll be able to see everything for what it is. The pickings are getting slim. You got guys, the top guys at 35, they don't have no more. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's maybe one guy here, one or two guys, maybe impossible to fight outside of each other, but there's really nowhere to go but towards each other.
Yo,
no more cherry picking. The time is
win.
Hey, just like Canelo at 168. How many more cherry picks you got, man?
Right.
Gone are the days where boxers would used to call out the champion. Now it's like the champions are now chasing like the contenders, which to me is crazy, right? You got like Bruce Ennis at 147, and nobody's calling him out except Brian Norman.
Maybe Vargas right now. Maybe Vargas.
Vargas, okay.
Vargas can fight. No, he's talking about the better prospects. Like maybe Vargas. I don't know, but I like Carmel, man. I just think the ceiling is high for him because he's a workhorse. And I think anybody that works that hard, especially with a good team, you give yourself the best chance to win. So
how old is old boy right now?
He can polish up on him. First Havoc was good, my guy.
How old is Carmel right now?
He looks like 18, 19, isn't he?
18, I believe.
Yeah. Carmel has his future is so bright. I don't know.
But you never know. You never know how he gonna conduct himself outside the ring as a young man. But no, I got high hopes for old boy. Best of luck to him.
Yeah. Between him and Mason, I have a feeling him and Mason are gonna be like a super fight one day.
That would be dope.
I feel that coming,
That's crazy. Big Belo's still in high school. Yeah, young Carmel, like he's just a guy. I don't have anything negative to say. He worked his ass off. He got a first round knockout. I mean, transitioning into that, I wanted to touch on that for a little bit because it was a bunch of different takes from this weekend with that fight, with the main event turning into a bit of a circus with the sub-in referee and all that stuff. I don't know. I heard some people say it might be time for Floyd to hang it up completely, even with the exhibitions. And I'll say this, I can't tell nobody when to say, it's a wrap. Like he could say that, but I heard people say like the exhibitions, they make his careers, they tarnish his legacy. And I just wasn't in line with that because I'm like, you separate the two. One was when he was really competing with them dogs and he showed you that. And one, he told you they really public heists, you know what I mean? Having fun, making money. So if you can't separate the two, like I can, but it's a certain level now. It's the sub-in referee is wild. I think
That's
I
the
draw a
first.
line where I'm like,
Imagine firing a ref and you're a fighter.
right, and then if you look at
that's a different level of privilege right there. That's a
if
different
you
level
look
of
at what
privilege.
fighting on a Floyd Mayweather's undercard, like, look, Carmel, like, I just fought on the go to boxing undercard, and he just like wild by it, and I know he's so appreciative, and as he should, right? Salute to him, but
Yeah,
one would ask, is it the same effect that it once used to have with people fighting on his undercard, being that these are not, in fact, going in the books. Then you got the sub and ref situation. Before that, your fight ended with the guy. And it's getting shaky, man. It's a little shaky with these little. I mean, one thing you want to do, one thing that we appreciated, about boxing is control chaos. And when it get to a point where refs is getting sub mid fight, a little bogus. I love
by the
TBE
fighter,
too, but like, bro, what's going on?
I never seen that happen in any sport. I think I'm up in Sac right now. Sacramento Kings should have subbed out that dirty ref in that playoff game with the Lakers. That was like 20 years
I
ago.
haven't even seen that done in WWE, so that was different
for me.
I don't think they did that in WWE. That was crazy.
WWE is going on right now, Floyd. You tripping? But I mean, I think it's a fair question. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think is it losing its luster? Is what I'm saying, like that? Because look, he's still excited. He wild by it. He love it. But I'm just saying, for the viewing public, is it taken away from what it means to fight on a Floyd Mayweather undercard, being that it's come with this extra sideshow?
I mean,
I'm almost right there with you, but I got
talk to me.
A minor disagreement. No, I can separate the two, for the most part. And if not for the fact that he counted goddamn the Conor McGregor as his 50-0. If he would have had that as an exhibition, then I could say, okay, it's a clear separation between what you did as a pro and these exhibitions. But since he want to count that on his record, I can't respect that. But for the most part, I do agree with you. Floyd just loved the spotlight, man. He loved the attention.
He stole on that one. He stole with the Conor. Didn't he come out with the mask on? The ski mask? Was that for Conor?
Yeah, he did it the ski mask way. You're right.
So he Conor. Terrell Cameron was good with it. So you get.
I don't think he counts towards his record though. I think it's just exhibitions.
No, man, he want to say 50-0, and that was the 50th.
617. Shout out to you, bro. So you another one. It's the channel for you. We big this the boxing up.
I think it was 50-0 before.
No, I'm almost positive. I'm gonna look it back up, but I'm almost positive that's the one that put him at 50 because he wanted to do more than Rocky Marciano. I could be wrong, but I'm 99% positive.
Floyd is 50-0, right?
Conor. I think it was Conor.
Almost sure it was Conor.
Floyd never.
I think he was 50-0 when he fought Berto. That's when he became 50-0.
You said who would do Floyd fought? You never heard of him? Tell you who that? Which one? At what point?
Oh, Berto made 49. I guess Conor made 50 then.
Or did Berto make 50?
I thought it was Berto that made 50. Yeah, I thought Pacquiao was 49.
Right? Oh, Berto made 49. Yeah, he did. Right. It was
so that's cap, man. That's cap just so he could claim greatest of all time over Marciano.
He stole that one. He stole a little bit.
I mean, I still think he'll be greater than Marciano anyway, just based on his other stats.
I feel you based on the champions he fought, but in his mind, that was a record he had to break in his
rounds
mind.
Won,
Yeah. He beat so many of the people that he needed to beat.
He did. His career was phenomenal.
And even the early fights where people were saying he'd get knocked out, it's too early for this fight. He beat some people, man. He ran through them. I wonder is all his fights still on YouTube? Only fighter I know he had all 50 of his joints on YouTube. Every last one. Do your homework. They used to call Floyd a power puncher at one point. It's crazy if you do the homework. He was about 10, 11 and those early on.
He beat the South African Philip Nindo. Philip Nindo was had 99% knockout ratio, and Floyd knocked him out. That was crazy.
Right.
Conor made. That's definitely impressive.
Yeah.
Nah, pretty boy was something else. I wish he would have kept that style, but I understand as you get older, you got to evolve, preserve yourself. And that's the reason he was able to.
That's why I appreciated it so much, because I think he really, really adjusted.
Almost definitely.
The only thing that makes me worry about
he aged like wine with it. He aged like wine with it.
The only thing that makes me worry about the exhibitions is that, you know, at the end of the day, Floyd's career is finished. You know what I'm saying? He can do whatever he wants with it. It's pretty impressive at his age that he's still competing with young men, even they're not boxers. You know, he beat the Japanese genius young kickboxer, which was to me was impressive as well. You know, like for what he's doing. Right. My only fear is because one thing I was always proud about Floyd is that he was able to finish his career with all his faculties. He suffered much damage, so on and so forth.
Beat the odds.
Yeah, he beat the odds, and that to me is a blessing. So many of our greats can't even talk right, which is so unfortunate.
Yeah.
However, you know, no matter how good you're doing now, Father of Time is always undefeated. You know,
undefeated, absolutely.
Yeah, undefeated. Like one day is gonna be one day. One day is not gonna. It's gonna be an exhibition that's not gonna go well. I mean, I hope not, but I feel like it's like bound to happen. You know,
right.
But like that's my main thing about like the whole. I don't have any problem with exhibition. He's doing what he does. You know, people always want to judge Floyd. They start saying, "Oh, Floyd is messing up boxing and exhibition." There's so many fighters who do exhibitions right now. You know, Pacquiao tried to do exhibition. He got beat up.
Yeah,
so, I mean, there've been people.
He look worse now than Floyd.
Hogan,
look,
it's not the first time.
All right. So I mean, for me, overall, like I got it. It's gonna always be an event when Floyd do something, right? It's always a certain amount of attention that he's always able to garner. But I think it's good for a guy like Carmel, the fact that he still feel like it's a blessing. It's a big deal to him. That's all that matters. If he like it, I love it. I ain't complaining. And I just guess it's to be expected at this point because he genuinely just having fun with this stuff. But like it's almost like at least he's still giving opportunities to some of these other people on these cards, right? Even if he gonna have fun at the end, you know, it's all about him at the end. He's still giving people, you know.
I mean, he gave what's his name, Ortiz,
make some money, fight. You know what I mean? They can say they
Ortiz trade for 1 day for that fight.
No, right.
That ring, man.
Right.
You being for real?
What's his name? Big boy Ortiz. I forget his first name.
Victor Ortiz.
Victor Ortiz.
Yeah, Victor.
Man,
too. That's why I
came from Donald.
Floyd, man, aged like wine because he older than Victor, and Victor definitely looked like he had better days for sure. That was best to see him back. But again, it's crazy because remember he was talking. It was some talks about them doing an exhibition.
Nah,
and it's crazy because it's like I could see Floyd like, yeah, at this point he's not fighting any other like fighters like that. So I could see him saying no, but you know what? I'll put you in the card. I mean, I don't know if that happened for sure, but I could see that happening. You know, I could see him doing that. Like, I ain't gonna fight you, but I'll let you fight on this card. You know what I'm saying?
Put money on and all that. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, where else did he come from? Well, I mean, he put Carmel on, so I'm pretty sure he's responsible for who's on that card. So
yeah,
I think that's gonna always be cool to me. The shirt.
You should make Carmel the co-main. I thought that would be even better.
I mean, for sure. Sure. Maybe if he was a little older or had more fights, maybe a
little more experience, to be billable like that.
Man,
I know, Remo. I wanted. That's why I play that clip all the time, man. That's what AB talking to Cigar talk about. Doing that.
That's that clip you always play. Yeah, if we're gonna do this exhibition shit, come on, I used to be your little homie.
He ain't fighting no pro, and I get it though. I get it because he's strictly having fun. If fighting a pro boxer, what he knows it's not going to be 100% fun the way it is for him now because dudes are still going to try to beat him because it's him. With these other guys, even if they try, they can't. With from another fighter, they might get lucky. They go hard enough, but I think that's why. Just
he makes a smooth 10 million off it, smooth 10 million right off it. Boom.
Right.
That's it.
So he fought John Gotti twice now, right?
I thought it said 3 times.
Yeah, I think
no, John Gotti the third. I think.
Yeah, it's John Gotti the third, but he fought him twice.
I think next he gonna fight Irv Gotti.
At this point, it's no telling. He's just having fun with it. But at the end of the day, like I said, shout out to Carmel Moten. He went out there. I like what he did. I'm mad I don't got a picture of it to put up, but he had the army fatigue get up. I mean, not the army fatigue, the Mexican colors. I know that was like a tribute to Floyd doing it. I thought that was cool. Kendra, what it do, my guy? Was good with it.
Yeah, I know Carmel consider him the GOAT. Understandable considering his age, but yeah, that's a boost for his ego and his confidence. So shout out to him. Obviously, Floyd ain't my GOAT. I'm 40 years old, so I've seen a little bit more. But yeah, it's good motion. Shout out Carmel.
Right. It's never a bad thing. And with Carmel taking advantage of the opportunities, not only just being grateful for him, but really taking advantage. Like he went out there and smoked dude in the first round. Youngin, man, yo, he just entertaining the why he don't play around, yo. He get right in your face. And
yo, his punching power is crazy now. Like
disrespectful Youngin. He get right in there to punch on
he's
you, bro.
That
like,
kid's gonna be rough, man.
Here, I got you.
He might be the one who knocks up anyway if things go right. You know?
Yeah, y'all school me. What weight class is he at right now? 126.
Was he 26?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that could work out.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know. Anyway's ready for that kind of problems, man.
Oh, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Maybe 1 or 2 years.
Man.
Yeah, if they
going, man, but I think he got some good future fights coming up for sure. 5-0 so far.
Oh, that's all the fights he got. Man, I've been hearing his name so much. I figure he had at least like 10 fights. But
they got him listed as super feather. So
and he's young, so he's still growing, right? I think he's gonna get to like 147 before his career ends. If you ask me, that kid looks like he's gonna go up some weight classes.
Yeah, he's just small. He's just very small. That'll probably be the hang up for him. The height. Don't mess with Texas.
He's short, right?
5'5".
Norman and Boots is the fight, bro. That's the fight.
That's
the fight that make B Norman and Boots. It really is, and again, why I like it so much because you got an active vocal father, and you got a fighter and Brian Norman that ain't scared to speak, but it's confidence with him. It ain't nothing else. It's confidence and it's him wanting to smoke. But it's unfortunate that I'm optimistic, but I don't feel like we're gonna get this fight. You know what I'm saying? I could play
I don't think we're gonna get it for some weird reason.
Don't say that.
Boots should follow it up.
He was saying
that's fight for him to make.
USA boxing. He said Tank versus Rayo. I don't think so. Rayo trainer Robert Garcia said he wouldn't be ready by November. So unless they change their tune or something, a different opportunity opened up. But I heard him say directly he wouldn't be ready by November. He was like, nah, next year.
So Tank already announced his date. Tank is for sure locked into that date.
I'm hearing a mixture of things. One of them I'm leaning towards more than the other. I'm hearing people speaking about the November, still trying to salvage a November date potentially, but I'm hearing we could possibly see him fight the first quarter next year too.
Yeah,
so it's going to be
I was going to say
like December, January. That's when you're gonna see Tank. I don't think
he ain't that active in the first place, so I don't see why they would push in a hard line on November. So shit, maybe it could be next. I'm gonna keep my hopes up, but
I feel like they want him to end the year. You know, I think he
had a nice stretch like between his what was his last 3 fights and the time that he fought. I forget the numbers. Shout out to my guy Senior. He knew the numbers exactly, but that's a pretty damn active guy. And I think the only thing that slowed him up from that was the little hiccup with the jazz situation. So,
but who's taking him fight?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he trying to get back to it, but just coming off, what was it, 13 months or so like that, it's probably ideal for them to want to try to get it in next year. But again, with them thinking business wise, and this is just me just spitballing, of course, maybe they consider that, the early part of next year is not a bad adjustment, right? It's not something difficult to make the adjustment for, especially if it's going to allow you to get the opponent that you want the most in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm done with I'm past all the duck shit. It's deeper than that. Dudes be doing business, being strategic, making moves. Dudes be taking time off. Like I said, when you talk about a guy like Lomachenko, dedicated his life to it, spent all that time as an amateur, all them fights, all that time away from family. When you hear him say he need a couple minutes, the timing is not ideal, but you try to level with it. Like, all right, I get it. But don't come back and do what you did when you said, nah, you cool on core and then you fought Cambosis. Don't say, yeah, you cool on Tank, then come back and fight another. That's going to piss me off directly. Like, I'm
exactly. If he comes back and fights Tank, I think that's fair. Like, you got to look at Lomachenko, like, this country's at war for their sovereignty. You know, he's fought so many fights. You know, he's getting older, so it makes sense that maybe he just wants a little time off.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I get it to a degree. I ain't knocking him for it, but like I said, take the time you need, bro. Because they asked him, "Is you fighting Tank next year?" Next year. I did hear him say that. So if that's something that we actually do, which is already hearing, that's cool.
And I see it to be a good fight because Loma always shows up. You know, like
it's gonna be a good fight, man. Look. That's why I say we have no fight to point to say Loma ever been dominated. The closest somebody came was Tio, but that was the first part. It was a tell of two different halves because once he picked up and started throwing with both hands and throwing more than single-digit punches, it was a much different fight. he put some pause on Tio for a minute. So all
like
of
about stop Tio at the end,
life and death. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
who do you think did better, Tio or Devin?
I mean, whoops this dude ass and just wipes him out. You know what I'm saying? So
who do you think did better between against Loma? Was it Tio or Devin? Would you say?
It was Tio clearly because Devin wasn't that dominant. Some people were saying that was a robbery. Nobody was saying that Tio was a robbery.
Yeah, for
Some
sure.
people said it was a robbery for Tio. Some people said that the last
it wasn't the narrative. I think a narrative for Devin Haney was that he, Loma was robbed. It was ridiculous. Like I even observed as a content creator, just scrolling through YouTube one day, and I kept running into these polls, and the polls of who you think won. I would just hit a vote just to see where the numbers is at, and man, I seen nothing less than like 60 and better % for people picking Loma. Not one single poll I came across voted for Devin Haney winning.
But do you know why?
I've never seen it that slanted, but that shit don't change my opinion. Loma gave the fight up in the 12th round, man.
Yeah, but do you really know why that is?
Go look at him say it. You know what I mean? He let his foot off the gas in the 12th, and that's why I don't have no problem with the right man winning. You know what I'm saying? So
just you know why that really is? Is because people expected Devin to get robbed if it was a close fight. Like that was the expectation, right? Because he was going to PBC. I mean, what we call Top Rank, and Lomachenko was there like prima donna, right? So if anybody's to get robbed, it's to be Devin if it's close. And so the fact that it was close and it was, Devin won, people looked at it like there had to be a robbery. There's no way that Devin could get a close decision.
I think
against Lomachenko.
What made it very interesting and kind of made people feel that way was the rounds that Loma won. Like he had the more dominant rounds in the fight. Devin Haney didn't have dominant rounds the way Loma did in the fight. You get what I'm saying? I think that kind of, that played in people's minds. Like the rounds Loma got off, he really was getting off. You know what I'm saying? Knocking his head back, the hair not helping. You know what I'm saying? But I'll point to something that Michael Jai White, the actor, the guy, the blood, the bone guy, he done did it.
The martial artist.
He had something interesting to say, and I could level with him. I believe he said he was there for the fight. And he said that what he noticed was, I guess, because Devin, you could see the size advantage. He said, like, whenever he hit him, it's like people would just like, whatever. They expected it. The bigger man hitting the little guy. But whenever Loma did anything, it's like they go crazy in the crowd. And it was like, it was a lot of stuff that.
Like it was a Pacquiao effect, basically.
That they just didn't give him credit for. I could see it being that because you see announcers do it that way. They set the table when they talk over one guy's work. They did it one fight that I remember rescoring. They did it with Regis and Josh Taylor. Like they talked over Regis' work. Over amplified Josh. I was like, I see it, and I had to go rescore that fight. That was a close ass fight, by the way. But Bob was mad.
I feel you hit the nail on the head.
I saw that interview too. I think it was with Vlad. But you know what? The one interview that let me that solidified for me was actually Rolly. When Rolly said Devin won, as much as Rolly hates on Devin, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That must be the most unbiased opinion ever. Because like Rolly will take any chance to fry Devin. Rolly was like, listen, if you really watch the fight, Devin controlled it. Lomachenko had good moments.
To do more. I expected a little bit different too. Irvin, like, what to do, my guy? I expected a different play out, but then maybe I was just looking at it again. I think I was overthinking it. You know what I'm saying too? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I thought a little bit more of that, but that fight put some things in perspective. Still a hell of a fighter, but still let me know Loma gonna give you a run for your money, bro. You're not
yeah.
gonna let you go in there and whoop his ass. And that's why I say, with him being 36, say what you want, I still haven't seen nobody run his ass out the ring. I want to see if somebody, I don't care if it's Tank, Core, somebody, you get what I'm saying? That's what I want to see before I write him off and say he need to retire. Yeah, somebody got to show me it. I got to see it in the ring where it matters. I can't look, oh, he's 36, he retired, he got lost. Nah, bro, that ain't that easy, man. He still perform at a high level. I mean, he chopped Cambosis up. Say what you want.
He did.
Haney fought him twice. You know, decision. Whooped his ass, by the way. I think he changed him. Them two first ass, them tamings from Dev Haney did something real to him. You backstage? Where, Kyle, you are? I think those two tamings did something to him. You know what I'm saying? And changed him. His confidence was never the same.
I was going to say mentally, his confidence level. You exactly right. Let me speak on the let me speak on the Haney Loma real quick. You're right, man. They thought if anyone was going to get robbed, it was going to be Haney. You know, politically, and the bigger man was expected to dominate, because I don't know what Devin weighed in at that night, but obviously he was. This is lightweight. You know, Loma couldn't believe how big Haney was. I don't know, 5'9", 5'10", and he 5'5" or something like that. So I feel you on that. And Loma did have, when he dominated, he just didn't drop him. But when he was getting on him, he was getting on him. And I think Haney suffered more damage. So I got to be real. On my first viewing, I thought Loma had it. I was in that robbery camp, but then I, let my emotions calm down, went back and watched it a second and third time. And I was like, okay, scoring, how boxing is judged on a round-to-round basis, I could see 7-5 Haney. So that's where I'm at with it.
Cal, that's my guy. Nah, for sure. That's why I say it's always a good conversation. Nobody's really wrong when you can sit there in detail and break down what you've seen and you see it in the other way. I can't trip out. But like I said, for me, I feel comfortable with what I thought I seen in the results, especially when I hear a guy didn't give 100%, and I know the other guy did, and he's known to do that. He did it in the Tio fight too. So you got a little bit of math you could do where you see in them 12 rounds. You got a tendency to kind of not just go for it for whatever reason, but a lesson learned for him. But hopefully, like, all is well if he, like I say, if he go in there and find himself in their first quarter with Tank. I appreciate it. First quarter next year, I wouldn't be mad, man. Shows us he's still a little TBE. Right. And again, speaking of that, like CJ was saying, maybe putting him in there with somebody that he can look good against, and he's doing. And again, it's layers. It's no right or wrong answer here. Some people just want to go the negative route. I like to touch on a little bit of everything. I feel like that's part of his job right now, to put this dude in a situation to look good. But it's not gonna come with this first name. But again, that's for people that's thinking that Cordina is trash. You got him fighting where he fighting at. You got his people showing up. The UK don't throw their fighters away. They can have 5-6 losses. So one loss ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna get rid of the dude like that. That
the US, they throw the African American fighters away.
I really think he's gonna win.
We throw the African American fighters away. We only throw away all the fighters. We throw it. It'd be the. I mean, not to play the race card, which I am, but
female with a glass jaw,
which I am.
It'd be one. Pacquiao will lose like 9 times. They'd be like, I can't wait for Pacquiao's next fight.
He could use a breakout performance, and even if it's not going to be the name, still let the performance reflect that you still hum, as he be saying, right? Hum. So I'm with you, Crush. Like what I mean. Just those little nuances to his game, I think, are things that he can work on. Like the things that people critique him for, the constructive criticism, man, go work on that shit, bro, and get better. Because anything that anybody expects from you is things that I think he is capable of. I don't think the bar is set too high for him. I think people, they go too hard with it gets past criticism, borderline slanderous, but for the most part, the criticism is fair for the real people. You know what I'm saying?
You talking Shakur, right?
Good with it, Brody.
Yeah.
You talking Shakur being overly criticized?
Yeah. You see it. Well, like you and reason why I say that, right? It's nothing wrong with criticism. I don't care what any of it is, but you'll hear somebody make an assessment, and you'll almost think he was fighting by himself. You almost think it was no other opponent in there. You lost, maybe he struggled. They'll say all the stuff that's wrong without remembering to mention the other side of it. He actually did win, didn't struggle. No knockout, but dominant level separation. Like that's the shit I see. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just more balanced with my approach, I guess. Some people just gonna go right for what they know. What they don't like. Yeah, he wasn't doing this. He cut the ring off. Ain't throwing no punches. I was bored. I was asleep by his 5th round. All type of stuff, right? But for me, I got a more balanced approach.
No, I feel you, and them are purists levying them criticism on him, and I'm almost there with you, except for the fact that he says "fuck the fans" when so to speak. I know he didn't say it literally, but essentially, I heard him 2 times say, "Forget what the I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a quote." But if you want drawing power, you can't say "fuck the fans." If you want that bag, you can't be on that page. That's all my only criticism of him for real. Because I think he can elevate, but you can't abandon the people that's putting money in your pockets. That'll make no sense. Like me saying "fuck my boss."
Yeah.
I mean, I could say it, but it ain't gonna work out in my favor.
Yeah, I spoke about it again, and I think he elaborated a little bit with Andre Ward. Man, it was good that he asked him that, and he specified there. I think, you know what I mean? Like he was like, "Yo, if it's F me, if you saying F me, it's F you too."
Yeah.
Not like people that's genuinely rocking.
It's on Fanon's channel too.
He even spoke about the criticism too, and said that it was fair. Like he said, if I talk shit the way I do, I gotta be to deal with that. Like that, just he acknowledged it, but it's also it's a line there, right? And people, you can tell who's just giving a boxing assessment based on what they saw, and you could tell who's giving one based off how they feel about the fighter individually, right? And there's a difference, right? So that's what I say. I love to hear the different takes. Like I had an opportunity to hear from somebody that's coach him about his weakness. That's some shit that people didn't even that is the Jew. Like you got real people around him, man. They ain't just kissing his ass and yes, man. So it's things and it's regular shit. That's stuff like that's like, stuff you can tweak and polish and work on and get better at. You know what I mean? And you got the people around you that's gonna highlight the things you ain't the strongest at. And I like it. So just keep
the thing about the fans is, and we have to be real, a lot of boxing fans is very toxic.
That's a good point, Mike.
We're a very toxic fandom. And I don't think people realize how toxic we are. Like, like there's so many, like, for instance, if somebody gets lined up with your favorite fighter, like for instance, Shakur gets lined up with Tank, like you hear all these weird narratives like, oh, Shakur's not ready to fight Tank. What are we talking about? Shakur's a champion. He's been boxing since he was a little child. Yeah, what's he gonna wait for? 3 more fights? What's gonna happen? He's been boxing all his life, and 3 more fights is gonna change his life. No. Or they'll say he doesn't sell tickets. You're not the promoter. Why do you care? You're buying the ticket. So you should want the best to fight the best. Why do you care if he doesn't sell tickets? Like the boxing fandom has truly changed. It's not the same as it was back in the day. Now it's like something completely different. People.
Yeah, we never talk buy rates or nothing like that. Hey, a quick question. I'll let you continue. Boxing Hacker, where you tapping in from? Where are you from?
I'm from the DMV.
Okay. Just Cali, Northern Cali to be specific, Bay Area. Up in Sac right now.
Can't be no USA boxing talking about Shakur. He come from that. So I know you don't. You just that must just be your name. USA boxing #1. You can't be nothing about USA.
Yeah,
boxing.
Shakur ran the amateur.
Entertain you real quick because we wrapping up and we gonna keep cooking for a little bit though. But while you at it, while you typing, is you got the YouTube fingers. They on fire over there. Tell me the fights, bro. And them 22 fights he had, name the fights in the chat real quick that he ran so I can go back and rewatch.
Name. You know he gonna say Dela Santos.
Let me show you how to shoot a narrative down without even having to do much.
You know he gonna say Dela Santos. Gonna be one of them.
Talk to me, USA boxing. But back to bro.
Shakur boxed phenomenal. I think people might think that Tank's gonna knock him out because of his power, but I believe that in boxing, there's just, there's more than just power. And Tank got skills too. I just feel like Shakur, I don't know. I started telling me he's a little bit more skilled, a little bit. He may not have as much power, but I feel like
better watch your mouth. What you say? He what? Better not dare. Get him.
Yeah, the Takamaniacs show up. They transform.
Sick him.
That's
I love
the worst fighter of the universe. You know,
about
all
them
that
dudes.
shit.
I love watching them both fight. Like I always say, man, you tell me you think Tank can knock him out, it's cool. Shit, I ain't about to argue about it.
It's possible.
I don't know who's gonna win. Shit, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that's my guy, but you just
Tank is a dog. I mean, he can't play. He can box. Tank can box, but
let me ask both of y'all this: do you all give Shakur the edge on ring IQ? Is that his biggest attribute or his biggest,
Shakur,
you know what I mean, advantage going into it?
Yeah, definitely ring IQ and distance.
I gotta put this in perspective. Everybody was clowning him. Imagine clowning a very successful multimillionaire at his craft. He continued to win. Y'all grasping at straws. That should look bad after a while. It's only so much boring you could talk about after a while. Don't forget to mention you winning. So imagine trying to take shots at somebody that's that successful. And we be doing that. We be in the comments.
Dude, like Eminem said,
we be in the comments like you looking bad
on a yacht, you know.
We be like, yo, why you looking bad? He lost his last fight. Well, nah, they were clowning him online. You be like, who? You be like, well, the fans. You be like, exactly. On
he ain't making no money. He'd be a whole millionaire. We broke as hell.
Yo, and it ain't even just that. It's like it's not that he rich, you broke type of thing, but you can't clown somebody that's successful at what they do.
Somebody said
there's no clown on them. You could critique them, you could do that, but you can't clown them for being successful. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could
be like Devin Haney only made 2.5 million. And then he broke as hell.
You can say I don't like this, I don't like his smile. I heard people say that, but you can say anything you want, but and clown a guy being successful. That's the joke would be on you. Like it really would.
And that's you're able to make $1 million in 36 minutes. You can't clown somebody like that, man. I'm sorry.
That's for boxing, man. So I mean, not just for boxing, that's for sports. See, you ain't I see you move that goalpost. You ain't telling me them fights. I gotta go check out that Iran. Y'all see y'all? That's how you do that.
I thought it would at least say De Los Santos. That's one everyone go to, but you take into account his hand and how masterful it still was, and I gotta give him props on that. Actually,
the only problem with De Los Santos fight is that when he got out of position too much, he would like get back. He'd be like too far away to like retaliate a lot.
Yeah, running is for people that can't cut the ring, you know?
Yeah.
Running is for people that can't cut the ring, bro. Running
but Karen ran. Do you feel like Karen ran against Boots?
Kevin. I mean, it's running. It's running if he do it, but if somebody moving away from him in the fight, he got to learn how to cut the ring off. See that?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, well said. I didn't repeat that.
Right down. You see how that go? And I'm on that side of cut the ring off. I'm not with the running stuff. I'm a believer of the same 2 feet he has to run. You got 2 feet to catch him. I ain't trying to hear that unless he got a 3rd foot. And they're able to move. I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear it. I know boxing, the feet are underrated. Like we don't speak about how good some of these dudes are. They position different things like that. You gotta take your feet with you to be good. That's why you ever notice a guy that feet aren't that good, they'll be very limited. Find yourself being limited. Just to throw a name out there in recent performances, Pitbull Cruz, you see how he find himself limited. Just don't want to throw a jab. He got a nice one, don't want to use it. Just want to hook, walk up. Shit, don't get it.
Super one-dimensional. Like you know how he's coming each time. Like he's coming to put all his weight on his lead foot and hook and throw combinations off that.
My bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a shorter fighter. He got that traditional Mexican style, and he was outreach. You know what I mean? So it wasn't too easy to pick him apart. I had my money on Rayo, so I wasn't surprised at that at all. No disrespect to Pitbull, but he is very limited.
Bro.
Yeah, he's very limited, man.
He got power, man. But I think his power in some cases was a little bit overstated. I think if he's able to overwhelm you, it'll look a certain way, right? But I don't think he ever was just some big one-shot guy. And then I'll say this, you got to consider that he was up at 140. He's not a 40-pounder. Weight classes matter. Compete up there at 140? Yeah, but how successful will he be?
What Ryo did that was really smart. What Ryo did that was really smart was that he kept circling. You know, Pitbull's the main focal point for Pitbull is putting all his weight on his lead foot. So if you keep him moving, he can make that huge step that he takes to pull all the weight on his lead foot to throw all his combinations. And Ryo was really smart to just keep moving because he knows that he'll have to keep readjusting to try to do the same thing. Which is what Rolly should
have the same leverage if he's moving laterally. I feel exactly what you're saying.
You need sweet spots, man. He one of those guys. He needs you to be in the right positions for him to look good against, to be successful. If you present a moving target with a game plan and you punching, you could give him a shit ton of trouble. And that's why that you will see Ryo was an example of why stylistically they don't match up well against somebody like Shakur. You could see it's deeper than just ducking, right? And I know people gonna say it's ducking. Yeah, it's turning down smoke, but I think it's about styles and them knowing better. That's just not somebody they're gonna look good against, and they're gonna struggle tremendously. So the safe bet is of course they're not gonna come out and tell the truth. They're gonna say, hey, you know what, he's gonna run. And then it's gonna be a nice amount of people that's gonna accept and be like, yeah, you shouldn't fight him, runner. And there you go.
Yeah, there you go. And then you have the narrative of the running guy.
Hey, bullshit. You just don't want to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's how the running man is created.
You know,
he's a runner.
To put their fighters in situations where they look good. And that's why it's not always about just the opportunity itself. Is about if they really think they can win in that opportunity. People don't just want to take fights, even if it come with good money and title shots. If they feel like they don't really have the best chance at winning, some people gonna take the shot. A lot of people gonna, you got the Pitbull cruises. They gonna pick and choose.
Let me lay out on that note. Let me lay out real quick what happened with Pitbull Cruz. It was if you want to call it a series of fortunate events. First of all, Tank injuring his hand early on in that fight, so he looked better than he probably would have otherwise. Second, that robbery they pulled on old man Barossa and gave Rolly the belt, and then giving him the opportunity to move up and then knock out Rolly. People was really riding high on Pitbull after that Rolly knockout, which I knew going into that fight, Rolly ain't shit. I'm sorry, but I mean, respect to him. He could whoop me, but professional boxer, he is not skilled. You know what I mean? He has no defense, and Rolly ain't shit. So I saw that coming, and that really raised his stock in that year and a half, 2 years. So yeah, man, it's
I won't call him shit. Like people always say, he's not when you say shit, like it's relative to like the top level, right? Because Rolly is
exactly okay. Yeah, that's what I'm speaking on.
Talent, at least. I think
I give him a B-, but you got it. I'm just talking about at that top level.
Because I would put him over a lot of fighters, in that division. Maybe not the champions, but a lot of the other contenders. But the only thing about Rolly, I think Rolly fought the wrong fight against Pitbull. Like I said, Pitbull's main thing, and I don't know why his coach didn't say it, is his lead foot has to be planted for him to throw his shots. He should really circle. But Rolly looked at it like maybe he could just have more power than Pitbull or some crap.
Just more of a dog. He just wanted to overpower. You're exactly right.
Boxing. Abdullah Mason got another opponent already. Johan Vasquez, 26-5 with 21 KOs, only been stopped once.
Okay.
I like that, man. They keeping that young man active. I know he not
Mason versus Kid Austin needs to happen.
He not gonna get it. They make it sound like that fight with Abdullah Mason to be easy for them, but I know that's
I think Mason will cook.
Talk like that, but
I ain't caring about that.
He's far more polished at this point, and they got close to around the same. I think Abdullah 14, Kid Austin got about 15. Fights like that too much it's too much right. Just like if Ashton Seal would have found his way in there with Kid Austin, man, that would have been a hell of a fight. I wanted to see that one. That one I wanted to see. I would have gave them dudes so much credit for fighting each other this early, man. Damn it, that would have been a good fight. Good ass fight. That would have been a great fight, man. But shout out to Ashton Seal. Hopefully he bounced back from that KO loss. That joint was bad.
What do you think about Kid Austin's dad rapping about him being like the best fighter. I mean, I guess all fighters should do that, you know, and saying that like, you know, my son can beat this person, that person, you know.
That's how I take it. Yeah. It's just I don't have an issue with them praising their kid, even if they go crazy with it, right? Because if my dad is my trainer and you know promoting me, and he ain't talking like that, man, get your ass out of here. But so I'm cool with that. But when it's the narratives that come with it. Don't say the champion's ducking you when you know you ain't even in position to fight. Don't say just because you yell for a fight with a world champion that they supposed to say, oh yeah, okay. Cool. Like, you know how many people that got title shots if that was the case. So that's all. Just don't create the narratives that everybody is ducking you. And that's
that. No.
You work yourself. And I got the greatest fighter in boxing. Sell him. I'm cool. Talk your ish, man. Because look, the dude is.
I feel like if you're saying all that, you need to like show it. Like you have to be that type of dude. Like how Devin Haney was when he first came out. And he was calling out Bunny, Robert Eastern, and stuff. You know. Be that type of dude. Like if somebody says let's fight, you're gonna be let's fight. My problem with Kid Austin is he called out Keyshawn, right? They were calling out Keyshawn like crazy. Keyshawn was like, let's fight. They were like, oh, we're gonna wait until the time is right. I'm like, what happened? Abdullah Mason, he said they could beat Abdullah Mason easy. Abdullah Mason said, hey, you guys quit sparring against me like in one round. Let's fight. Then their whole demeanor changed, like, oh, Abdullah, we're number one. We need to fight the Peta, blah, blah, blah. Abdullah will be a step backwards. Then why mention his brother's name in your lingo if you're not planning to fight him? I hate when fighters do that.
Yeah, I think we always gonna see these call-outs happen that don't really materialize into fights. I think that's just because that's the nature of a fighter to call the next one out. But for me, I put that where it should be, entertainment. But for me, it's when the opportunities present themselves and guys start saying no, you know, making a fuss. Now all of a sudden you're demanding so much money.
Yeah, the whole narrative changed.
Start doing stuff like that. That's when I start looking at it like, bro, you doing too much. You know what I mean? Now the call outs, I take them with a grain of salt. Now they really empty call outs, but some of that, you know, calling out to generate the buzz. I get it, but it's when guys actually have those opportunities to face opposition and they don't, and they go the other way. I mean, I always think it's deeper than ducking. I do think sometimes people just don't be ready for opportunities.
Do you remember when
we don't like to hear that, but that be the reality. Sometimes you just don't be ready.
Do you remember when Tio and Devin first started getting into it?
So you trying to duplicate the Haney route, Schofield? The way Trail Bill, 40 mil Bill did it.
Yeah. President Bill, yeah.
Possible.
But the thing about back then, Devin was ready to fight these people. Like I'll mind you guys something. When Devin and Tio first started getting into it, right? I remember initially it was Tio talking about Devin Haney and him sparring, how he made Devin Haney cry in sparring. They had this little round table talk. They were like, yeah, we made Devin cry. We should have seen it. It was a massacre, blah, blah. They said Bill Haney was ashamed of Devin. This is all sorts of nonsense. Devin pulled up with this guy. He was like, all right. He said, Devin was like, he pulled up Brian Teal's face and said, yo, you're lying about everything. Let's fight. Teal was like, you know, yeah, we'll plan to make the fight later. I'm like, what happened?
I said that, and we got to do that. I said that's alive in and of itself, man. It's deeper than duck, and I promise you, I said that we might have to have one. I might have to pull the most. You know what? That might have to be tomorrow since you said it, because you already had the thought in mind. I promise you, I did, and that was gonna be the conversation. We was just gonna roll with it, and I was gonna pick the 3 latest ducks or the handful or whatever, and just it's too much of that going on. Like for instance, right? I heard today that Shakur ducked because he went to Eddie Hearn. So not based off turning down a contract, rejecting a phone call, not wanting to negotiate, all of those things that really would lead to a guy not wanting to fight. But you know, that it's where you went. And like I said, I could see if you went for like X amount of fights and you tying yourself up long term, I'd be like, yeah, that's a little eyebrow raising. But 2 fights, when I'm listening to you say you're going to chase your money, you're going to chase greatness, you chase the bag. You get what I'm saying? You want to stay active, X, Y, and Z, and then you're leaving a situation in a promoter and Bob Arum. That's where you've been your whole career. It was kind of rough on the way out. You know what I mean? A little rough, a little bumpy on the way out. Nonetheless, you with a guy that is essentially doing the opposite of what, you know, Bob is doing. Like he's preaching about you. He was talking good about you even before you was you know, a free agent. I've always heard Eddie Hearn give Shakur his just due, so to speak. But you got a guy that's really like rolling out the carpet, so to speak, right? All the bells and whistles, every interview, you can't say enough about the kid, right? Look, shit, you got another little clip. I know this should be pissing people off when people get their opinion. It's just his opinion. Don't mean this shit gonna happen, but he can't say enough about Shakur and his
For me, you know, I back Shakur Stevenson in that fight. I think he's a complete fighter. I think I mean, he's not underrated. He's 27. He's a 3-division world champion. His boxing IQ's on another level. You know, Tank is a great fighter, but I believe Shakur Stevenson beats him. I don't think we'll see that fight this year, but I do think we'll see it in 2025.
Yeah, I do think so too, Eddie. I'm hopeful that we see it 2025 too, which is right here. Who gonna win? I don't know. Eddie made his pick. Of course, he's gonna pick the guy that you picked, but he was picking him even before he signed with him. It's just a pick. I don't seen people go back and forth. It's not a big deal as long as we get it. We win, even they win. The whoever winner is gonna go on to do even greater things. The loser will go on to be great as well. Don't think it would be no loser in a fight like that. That's why I said it might be cliche, but that's one of the good ones. There's no losers when we get the best fight and the best. It's a win for everybody. Fighters are getting paid. We getting the best show possible. Get what I'm saying? We getting our money's worth, and they getting a chance at legacy and to prove who's better, who's number one. So win-win for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope, like he said, 2025 it delivers that. I don't think Eddie Hearn will possibly be the guy to facilitate the fight. I don't think so. So again, 2 fights, I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? That gives me my opportunity to weigh his options and see what door or what avenue we need to travel to get the necessary fight.
It's gonna have to be Riyadh season, right? Bringing together PBC and Matchroom.
Supreme, you're a fool, man. Yeah, you're right. CJ, good point. Mike Kirkland, my guy, he said boxing hack. Oh, pardon me. I be trying to let people get it in, but I gotta be better with that, yo. Because sometimes people be thinking I'm done, they just start talking right while I'm still talking. Shout out to my brother Mike Kirkland. I know that's real. If you see this,
I disagree. I think we both been patient. I disagree with you, Mike. Let us get our shit off. It's a panel for a reason. So he ain't trying to step on his toes. It's just
that's why I don't take it that way, because I know it's within the conversation. I know how conversations get too with boxing. So you know,
exactly.
Shout out to my brother. I appreciate you.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Lovely. Shout out to my brothers, man. Boxing Hacker came up to build with your boy CJ Rich. Y'all always welcome anytime, man. Y'all already know, man. Hope y'all can still hear it. Shout out to
you're a little far away from the mic.
Yeah,
but
shout out to my guy Keith Cologne. Got to show the shirt one more time, man. I appreciate the gift, man, and congrats to him on his pro debut, man. You know, getting a second round stoppage, you know, and his pro debut, showing your boy some love. You know what I mean? right. Show your boys some love, man. You know, y'all tough, man. I got y'all though, man. I got the family, man. We gonna make sure y'all good, but I appreciate y'all, man. Overall, man, I'm always pushing for the best fights to be made, man. I think it's too much talent in boxing for anything less. I don't know. USA Boxing be going in, don't I? don't think he like boxing all that much. He too negative. Over here, we really like. Trust me, you know how people be like, "I love boxing," but then everything come out, they might be negative. That's why my approach is so laid back.
I thought it was it's not like
I keep some vegetables around, but I just keep it off camera. You know what I mean? But I be chilling, I be cooling, I really love talking boxing. That's why. You know, ain't no sense of getting mad at these dudes for being great in their own way, bro. And I appreciate everybody and what they bring to the sport, especially if you show me when you get in there, you're going to perform at the highest level time and time again. I don't think people know how hard that is. And I said this before, not even to, beat the dead horse, but, man, people don't go to their jobs every day and have their best day ever. You know what I'm saying? You don't have your best day ever every day in life. So you think these dudes going to do it? They human too. They had bad nights, man. They had bad days. But ain't no reason to write them off. You got to big the sport up instead of tearing it down, man.
Yeah, I think that quote right there.
You know, you got the most viewed fight on ESPN this year. Now, what's your next goalpost move going to be? But it's free TV. It's ESPN. Go ahead and tell me how it's free. after you say nobody watch him, and I say he had the most viewed fight on ESPN.
But you see how his
watch
his tank.
Go do your homework. Go look at the list and go see all these fighters that got these fan-friendly styles that everybody say they like, and see why. Still, with all that being said, the pure boxer is the guy that they're viewing the most. I wonder why that is. Something got to be with that.
Maybe the superior style is just
maybe they hoping that he lose, but long as they watching, it's good. I love boxing too much to care about views. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about views of a fighter. I just care about seeing these dudes win. You know what I'm saying? And perform and do their thing. You know. Shout out to Dragon Assassin Official and Professor Ant Queen in the building. What's good with you, my guy?
No, just dude, you got the game fucked up just a little bit. If you want any love from fans nowadays, you got to be undefeated and you got to knock every single person out, and that's the only way you could be loved by everybody. The shit is unrealistic. We got way out of line. The fandom, like old boy said, like Boxing Hacker said, the fans have become hella more toxic. You know what I mean nowadays. So I feel you on that point, but I really think that's what they expect. You ain't that nigga unless you go in there and knock every single person out, and then we could give you props.
Yeah, we gotta always make sure they can't forget about that. It's boxing, y'all, not knockout kings. We love a knockout too. I love a good ass whooping. I love a good surgical, you know what I mean, ass whooping. I like it.
That's for the purists. That's for the purists, though.
Right, absolutely. And McQueen, what's good with it, Professor? Man, Dragon Assassin, my guy. I see you popped up. What's good? Always good to hear from the fam in the chat, man. What's good with it, bro?
Always fam.
Chilling, man.
Yeah, just wanted to speak to you direct because obviously in text it can get miscommunicated. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, regarding Shakur, not like my stance on it. I've never called him a duck, and I rate Shakur. I was only saying based off what a tweet that Eddie Hearn says to Shakur about the guy Cordina, and obviously because Shakur's from the USA, your area, New Jersey, I was just simply stating that he's not popular in the UK where we're from. That's my only stance. That's all I was saying, and I'm not saying it on emotions. I live here with boxers and we do boxing, and we know a lot of stuff in the UK. Do you get what I'm saying? And what's the name? Cordina's only a few hours away from me, so I'm saying it based on respect, bro. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm coming from.
I like it.
So I'm not dissing Shakur. I'm not feeling Eddie Hearn.
Talk to me. That's why I say listen. When I drop that link, you always welcome to come up, bro. It ain't got to be my way. I like to hear the different perspective. That's why it's good to hear you. You know, come up.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Right. Like, look how he's got Boots. Obviously, you're hearing like there's a miscommunication between Brian Norman and Boots. Now, personally, I don't know because I don't like to make assumptions, but I feel like Eddie Hearn's got something to do with that because he wants to make a Karen fight because it would be easier for him to make that fight. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's my stance. So I'm just like, Shakur, just be careful around Eddie Hearn because he's selling you something that's not fact. And obviously, he's from America. He's not going to know. You know what I mean? And when I say Cordina's not popular, I'm not dissing it to say, Shakur's fighting a shit fighter. I'm just saying that, pardon my language, that he's not popular in the UK. Right. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying that as a fact, not emotions. You know what I mean? Just to. So.
Man, I like that, man. Appreciate you, bro. You're always welcome to come up and drop your opinion, your thoughts, man. That's all good.
I'll always support you, bro. I'll always support you. You know how it goes, bro.
Appreciate you, fam. Much love. Shout out to the UK, man. But a lot of people don't got faith in Eddie Hearn. But for me, that's why I feel like it's a trial run. I feel like 2 fights. This is his opportunity to see if you could deliver, and that gives Shakur an opportunity to see if I can make good out of this. Like I said. The first fight is, I get it for the people. You know what I mean? I understand it, but as a pay to fight on the back end, I think it'll make it worth it, your 2-fight situation. Because on one end, you'll be able to stay active, get the fight in front of a different crowd. I hear some of the things Eddie was saying, and I get it. So that could work for Shakur, but I think it's important to deliver a fight because I could imagine that he wants to continue to do business with him more past 2 fights. So I think for that to be a realistic possibility, he got to be able to make good on the back end of that deal. And again, he can't force these guys in the ring, but you got to give them somebody that matter. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like the fact that it's only 2 fights. So you're right. You always want to be mindful, you know what I mean? But 2 fights is really a test run and to give him an opportunity to see if you can deliver. You know what I mean? You already got a freebie with this Cordina thing. You got one. So you get what I'm saying with the way you positioned it. And respect to Cordina because I like him. He's a good fighter, but I get the setup. Not off the knockout laws, people ain't digging it. I get it. So you already got one there. But I look at it as you able to keep him active and maybe look good. Maybe there's somebody that's going to stand in there and fight where you maybe he can look good against. Maybe you thinking about that. So who knows? We're going to see. We'll find
however
out.
Shakur fights is how he fights. I'm not really bothered how he fights because look what happened with Devin Haney. He tried to fight in the pocket and look where that got him. So I don't. I'm not telling nobody to change their style because for me, it's like you said something valid. Yeah, it's this trailer. It's not a trailer. You said it, and I think you should use it if the fight happens. You said something about, can Gervonta crack the code of Shakur's defense? Yeah. And that's what I want to see. But my problem was Hearn is pitching Cordina as a popular fighter for Shakur to build his brand. And I'm telling you, in the UK, he's not popular. And that's just a fact. It's not emotion, it's just facts. But I'm just giving that information from over this side of the sea. Do you get me, Justu?
Hey, shout out to Dragon, Dragon Assassin. I appreciate the variety of perspectives on the panel today. But I got a real quick question for you. Since you are tapping in from the UK and we don't really have the pulse of that. I'm all the way in California. I'm halfway around the world. So let me ask you this. Why is it that y'all don't really appreciate what the movement that Eddie Hearn is pushing? What does the UK have against Eddie Hearn, basically?
If you look at like Conor Ben, he's supporting Conor Ben, yeah. We don't rate that. Conor Ben was meant to be the next best thing based off his dad, Nigel Ben. And then obviously he got caught with doing what he's done. And Eddie Hearn's supported him. And the UK don't respect that. So that's why he's had to go over to the US to try and promote him over the US because he's been banned from the UK for a while. Then if you look at his last interview now, he's bigging up Ryan Garcia for his Austrian stuff. Now, again, I'm not a Ryan Garcia fan or Devin Haney fan, but I don't respect the fact that Eddie Hearn's like in support of that. And he's just a dodgy character, bro, from the UK. Everyone knows he's a dodgy character. I'm not saying he's not a good promoter, but he's dodgy. So Shakur just needs to be mindful. That's all. That's my insight.
I don't think he supported Ryan Garcia. I think he just said that Ryan basically used it to get to weight cut rather than gain power. Which to me made sense a little bit, you know.
Bro, for me,
that's semi-cap.
Yeah, go on, CJ.
No, I'm just saying that's semi-cap. Obviously, it did have power. You want to retain your power while still, being able to cut weight, and that's the whole point of Oscarine. So it's semi-cap. But I just thought I figured, in my ignorance, that y'all be behind him because he pushed AJ so hard, and you started selling out Wembley, with the white gloves and all that shit, made him a superstar. So maybe I just assumed too much.
No, there's a lot of people that support Anthony Joshua and some people don't. But like again, like you say, people got casual fans and you got proper boxing fans. Like it's not just what you see on TV and it's like, oh, we champion that. If somebody's good, we support them who's good. But if they're not good, we're not gonna support them just because they're from the UK. Do you know what I mean? So like Eddie Hearn, just because he's from the UK, I'm not gonna say he's the best promoter in the world. You know what I'm saying?
No, real shit. I respect that.
Nah, your insight is perfect for the conversation because I don't think you have nothing personal against him. You just giving some insight. Somebody that's over there, so that's good to hear. You know what I mean? And things that you've said about him, I've heard it before about Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? You always want to be mindful and make sure they ain't just selling you. You know what I mean? Empty dreams and things like that. That's why I say with 2 fights, it's perfect where you ain't just you get what I'm saying, signing your life and giving them the string to do you dirty and then complaining about it after the fact. You giving them 2 shots at it. And I feel like by then you should be able to gauge what he's able to do for you. And I know a lot of people making a big deal about him not being involved for a Tank fight. That might be good. He might not be the guy to facilitate that fight for him. Maybe this is why it's 2 fights. Maybe from there he can see where else he can go. If he need to deal with somebody else to make that a reality, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I got you, Don.
My question is this: are there any fighters that he's done dirty?
I don't think
No,
so.
I'm just saying, just Eddie Hearn, because I hear what Dragon Assassins is saying, and I understand him wholeheartedly in not being in support of somebody who's complicit, so to speak. Whereas like people are doing things that are unsavory, and he's giving them a vote of support. Has he done any fighters dirty that you guys can think of, like any instances?
Nah,
As far as money, nah, I can't think of one in Don King, but
No,
at
it's
the
not a
same
Don
time,
King.
I understand what Dragon saying. Go
I think
ahead.
he does. I think he does his fighters good. I think it's his opposition that hate him. Like for instance, like people from other promotional companies hate him, but for him, he does his fighters good. Like for instance, like people who are like Wilder fans are like, "Oh, Eddie Hearn was blocking the AJ fight," but if you're AJ, Eddie Hearn was supporting you. So I think he does his fighters good, but the opposition is like he's slowing down the fights from happening. That's my opinion, at least.
I think the opinion is that Eddie Hearn's just a snake to a lot of people. The way he moves, man, he moves real shaky.
He does, and the fact that as well, you like saying he does his fight dirty, but again, if you look at his movements, he what did he say about Shakur? He's not paying him what Bob Arum's paying him, and then what he said something about Anthony Joshua. He told Anthony Joshua that he needs to take a pay cut for certain fights. I told him he's the way he said it is that I told Anthony Joshua he needs to take a pay cut for certain fights, and now I've got him to Turkey because he listened to me, unlike certain other fighters that didn't listen to me. And it's like, whoa, do you know what I mean?
He spoke the truth about Bob Arum because Bob Arum should promote Shakur way better. When Bob Arum promoted Lomachenko, why can't Shakur get that?
Bob Arum doesn't do any of his black fighters.
It's not the Bob Arum part.
Yeah. You have noticed that Bob Arum is not really good with the black fighters. He's more towards the Spanish and the international audience, but he really doesn't do his black American fighters right.
Wasn't he always?
That's just the history.
I don't
He
know,
told Bud to promote himself.
Exactly. Like,
But to your point about Eddie Hearn speaking about not paying him, he did say that, but he had to kind of walk that comment back because I heard him in another interview. He was like, somebody asked him about that, and he was like, well, yeah, I did say that to Bob, but it was like tongue in cheek. He like, I'm gonna have to pay him. He like, this dude ain't coming to get paid less. So I think that's the promoter games. Like, yeah, of course you're gonna say that to see if he cool with you not paying him what he getting paid. But then when you sit down and think about it, you like, hey man, Corey ain't going for that. And you know who his team is, and y'all know, Josh Dubin and so on.
Like Jay Prince and them.
Ain't no fools over there, so
they're gonna get
let's be objective about this. Hearn is gonna put him on pay-per-view, so he getting the back end that he wasn't getting from being on ESPN. So that's
international core.
International core, buddy. He ain't getting back. He's getting big front end.
Hey, that's good for a co-main. You know what I'm saying? He get back in.
Nah,
even though
I don't
don't
back in. I think he's getting big ass
like
front end.
Cordina as much as I'm going to still watch it. I may not like it. I mean, of course, I don't.
Opportunity. Right?
It's an opportunity. Hey, I hope he knock his ass out. To be honest.
Yo, is that Dundry?
Hung up on the name.
Yeah, that's
the
me.
way I'm looking
Yes,
at
Dundry.
it, right?
Salute, fam. Blood clot. Yeah, man. Salute.
You got a better guy saying like, all right,
Blood
I had a baby. I want to take some time off. Maybe we could do this thing for February. That's how I got it. So I feel like when Eddie Hearn, now that leave him in a position to still fill that date. So what do I do? Oh, easy fix. Here's a guy that already competed at lightweight more times than Shakur has to this point. You get what I'm saying? It's an in-house guy. Let me snatch him right up, former champion, easy fight to make. Yeah, it's gonna be people that kill it, but if you go a little bit deeper than the surface, it's not the worst fight in the world. The setup of it, like the notion in your mind. The last time you seen him, damn, he was getting stopped. So I get it, but I would have to bring up this the same situation that Tim Tszyu and Fundora was in, right? It's the same situation that Earl Spence is going to be in, and knockout laws, moving up a weight class, coming off a loss, right? That's what people don't want to see, a title shot. So, I mean, I get it, but Cordina is actually a good fighter. Am I going to say, is he on Shakur level? That remains to be seen, but I think he do some things in there well that can make this a solid fight. I think people are hung up on the name because you expect more for Shakur. I heard somebody straight up say, yo, he's better than that. I understand, but think about the circumstances. Everybody like, oh, it's a bad thing moving with Eddie Hearn. Is it a bad thing that a guy has been praising you like every interview, every chance he bring you up isn't necessarily a bad thing. He trying to roll out the red carpet. There's no surprise he went there. We think too simple-minded, like, no, go where this fight is at. How do you know those guys on that side got an opportunity for him right now? Nobody's having a real conversation. We keep talking about one damn fight that we know is not coming right now. So it's a big risk to try to go somewhere where you don't even know if you're a priority there. At least over here, this dude is going to try to move me, and he got 2 opportunities. I'm giving him 2. Giving him 2 opportunities. If he can make good on this, then we cooking. If not, then I can go somewhere else. So I don't know why people flipping when I'm saying a young fighter do exactly what he said he was going to do. Whoever got the best opportunity for me, that's what I'm doing. But I don't want to do nothing long term. I love this. 2 fights. I love it. Y'all just don't get it. Nothing. I don't think it takes no fight off the table, because if you look at the time frame, we talking about February. Getting that fight, you talking about the rest of the year. Stop. We pushing narratives. Like, let that shit happen. Talk to me.
May I add this to the conversation as well? We keep talking about the Shakur side of things, and we understand, as my guy Dragon Assassin said, that some of us, we're a little bit shaky, a little bit mistrusting when it comes to or distrusting, I should say, when it comes to Eddie Hearn. But I will say this also makes him look pretty good when you really think about it from Cordina's side of things. Imagine getting knocked out. That's what I'm saying. You get knocked out, you move up to 135, and the first fight that you have is against one of the marquee guys at 135 and a champion.
Eddie might have owed him one, Ant. Might have owed him one.
So it's like,
for that last fight down there and got stopped. Bro, look,
if I'm Shakur, I'm looking at that as well too. Like, yo, this guy just got knocked out. He's moving up, and he's in contention for a title on a pay-per-view.
Like, yeah, something to prove. Yeah,
you know. So
I'll be watching the fight anyway, because I watch all fights anyway. So I like Shakur anyway. You know what I mean? I rate him, like, for me personally, I rate him number 2 in 135 division for me. And I watch everyone's fights just to see Star Boots, Brian Norman, Benavidez. I watch all fights. But for me, my only issue, it was not even the fact that he's Cordina, it was just that people were saying like, oh, he's popular from the UK. And when I'm hearing this, I'm like, nah, you lot have got it wrong. It's not like that. Because, facts.
Maybe that's the wrong word. Maybe popular is the wrong word. Maybe known. Is he known? Do they respect Joe Cordina, or do you not have a fan?
I don't know.
He's known, but he's not known like as in known. He's not gonna give Shakur that big buzz like
he's known like Rolly, right?
Someone who's popular, and I don't respect him that much.
I don't think he elevates his profile, but I don't think it drops. I think it kind of stays there.
Just do you get what I'm saying? Like someone who's known, he's not in first weight class, but he's Ben Whittaker.
I just wanted to give this dude people got to disconnect the fact that I rock with Shakur. This has nothing to do with him. I'm not into tearing no fighters down. Y'all know that's my MO. That dude is not a bad fighter. That's all I've said. He's not a bad fighter. Y'all making it seem like he's fighting a trash guy. I'm like, show me the fights where he's been trash. He got it besides that one where he got taxed, but he's a good fighter. Good fighter.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. Don't say great now, because I'm
just the popular part for me. I was just like,
he's good though.
When I heard people telling me popular, I was just thinking, how can all you tell me he's popular? And I'm right here with a bunch of people. I see a lot of people. I go, London, he's only 2 hours away from me. He's not like
I can't
like what's his name? Do you know what I mean? He's like Ben Whittaker's popular, but I don't rate him. We've already got a Boots. Ben Whittaker for me is like a low version of a Boots, but a lot of people in the UK rate him. I don't, because I love boxing, but a lot of the people in the UK, Ben Whittaker, not for me, bro. It's not my cup of tea.
I like Dragon Assassins, man. He ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, nah, bro. Y'all talking Ben Whittaker, we got Boots.
You get me?
Nah, he gonna have a problem in 75. He gonna have a problem because all that dancing's fine until you find somebody who can fight.
Thank you.
On the same
That's
level.
always the story.
Knock your ass out.
Same happened to Prince Nassim. Same happened to somebody else as well.
Yeah, all that dancing cool.
The Drunken Master, I think,
get you views.
Too.
Get you some views until somebody hits you in your mouth.
He's not fighting. He's not fighting proper fights. If he fights somebody like Betevieve or Bivar, and he does that dancing style and he knocks them out, then I'll give him his credit. But for now, he's not fighting.
That would be crazy.
Doing that.
Nah, he needs to fight a Morel or a Benavidez, man. Don't do him like Dragon. You went too far. You trying to get that man hurt.
If it's him,
because he's doing it to a lot of the fighters in the UK are singing Ben Whittaker's praises like he's the best and be all. And I'm watching and I'm like, we've got a Boots. Like, do you not understand? Like,
I like, bro. He's like, man, we got Boots. What you mean, Ben? Wait,
yeah, man. Like,
I like
and the guys.
I like the showmanship, especially if that's him. Now I get it. What you saying about doing it against the level of guys? You better do it against them guys. I don't recommend as you going up there. Now I think he'll still be true to himself, but I think he'll be more selective when he do it. If he can still do that and pull off wins at a high level, I respect it. But you're not gonna see it with the frequency that you've seen it with these lower level guys. I think he's gonna have to adjust the showboating and the showmanship, right? You're gonna have to, as you elevate your game, you gotta pick when you do that stuff. Exactly. And I think he's doing it with a purpose right now. I like it. It's fun.
It's smart to build his brand, though. It's smart building his brand like that. People say he's flashy. He's eye-catching. He's selling himself. If you look at it, he's selling himself.
I like it because you just everything in Whittaker. They love that dude right now. He popular after that one of those fights. His following shot up.
Yeah,
they love it.
Big time. He's popular as a proper boxer. But as a proper boxer, like boxing, like watch boxing is like, I'm not fooled by it. Like I say, you've got Boots. For me, you compare Boots and Ben Whittaker and look at the difference, man.
Yeah,
look at the difference.
I did it. And look, Prince was a showman, right? He was able to kind of carry that up and continue to do it. If you able to be successful still being you, because that's going to be a lot of where his criticism lie. Unfortunately, the same stuff that got people talking is the same stuff they're going to be looking for. Well, he didn't do that against this guy. So I already see it coming. So I hope he know what he's in for. But I like him though, man. I like him.
He's fun to watch. And he has interesting interests too, you know.
Fun dude.
The ring is crazy.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I think he's in the wrong weight class. I think he should have started at 68 at least. Started down a little bit because he's starting at 75, but those boys hit a little bit different. And when he get up there to the top, even Anthony Yard, bro. If you try to dance what you want to, if he catch you with a left hook or right, boy,
I think he might dance on Yard.
You gonna what?
I'm always like Anthony Yard, by the way. That dude don't got no quit in him. I love Anthony Yard's spirit, man.
Man, look, I don't know if y'all
can fight, and he can fight.
That boy can fight.
He tried his best against Better B.
Didn't he?
You know,
didn't he? He gave him a good run.
Gave him a good run until he couldn't.
Gave him a good one.
Those damn muscles, man. Those muscles.
Right? Nah, we can't say that. Tank gonna fight Shakur. We ain't got to drown the conversation. We're gonna keep cooking on what we cooking on, but just know, man, they not in full control of everything. You got to consider that dude is a meal ticket, man. People want to get paid when he fight. I know it. I ain't saying it's cool, but I know that's a reality. Nobody's gonna move me off that spot. And there's a reality when people see that they got money to make. It's a certain way you're gonna move, and all of those moves are not gonna have the fans' best interest at heart. Like, right? It's not gonna be Shakur and fight number 2 or whatever out of this deal. It's just it's not likely for business, in my opinion, until they show me otherwise. I just didn't see it coming this early. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna make some bags as people. Loma is a good fight before Shakur. That's a great fight. You get what I'm saying? I just think that's just got to consider that. It's not about Tank trying to duck him. That dude smoking shit the way he do you really think that it's somebody that he's scared of? Seriously.
That's what I was saying. Like,
dynamite.
It don't make sense.
He got the golden gun, bro. Like, nah, he ain't worried about that. But do dudes want to lose? No, but and show me him turn down somebody. I always say the same thing on either side. Show me these dudes turning down smoke with quality fighters, and I jump all over that. They ain't fighting each other stuff. But nah, man, just give it some time, man. A fight that good or a fight with you got number 1 and number 2 is just gonna take some time. We know how boxing do, bro. They bleed us dry a little bit, bro. Unfortunately, they bleed us and the fighters on both sides, and the teams take hits all the way until they fight. We seen it with Earl and Bud. Hopefully, we not getting that again, because that was whack. Just on some boxing stuff, it's corny to drag the people. It seemed like we had to take on that because they ain't just make the fight, but get that shit some time, man. Them dudes gonna fight each other. They believe in themselves too much not to fight each other. If they move out of the division without fighting, they both gonna get critiqued for it, criticized, it's not gonna be one way. So I know people like Tank A-Side send a contract. Tank 30-0, he ain't never sent no contract because that's not his job. And I know it sounds cute. Call Al. I know that shit sound cute. No fighters are calling Al Heyman to make their fights, bro. And it's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, fire your team and just make all your fights by yourself.
That's a fighter fandom right there.
But
I know you hate to hear it,
but I think these dudes gonna fight each other because they have to. The road is getting thinner, is what I'm saying, and I'm being more patient than the average guy because they're not bleeding it out. Shakur 27, Tank like 29. They're not too old. Nobody lost. I won't panic unless I seen somebody lose before they got there or somebody move out of the division, something like that.
Devin.
Turn down the
Like
fight.
Wilder and AJ.
It's gonna happen. They watch us probably argue all the time about this stuff online. I'm telling you, and they're gonna bleed us, unfortunately, a little bit. Tank make a lot of money for boxing. They're gonna make sure they make that bag. I'm just putting a lot of the things that I hear people that fight say, man. You hear Andre Ward say people don't fight the, killer after killer is not, it's not realistic, it's not healthy. Then you see it, you see what kind of challenges these dudes take, you get it. So I think they're gonna give us the fight. I don't think them dudes scared. I think both teams are as confident as anybody could be in a fighter, right? And you just saying you ain't scared of shit like that. Yo, this dude's been in the gym since they was like 6-7 years old. Both of them. One of them been bred to fight the best fighters in the world. They ain't ducking shit. Just the business gotta happen. Like I said, if we give matches that somebody duck, William Old School, what's good with it? Or somebody turned down the offer, then it's a story there, something to talk about. But right now, like I said, I trust in my guy, and it's a couple sources, man. I'm hearing they still targeting Loma for real for next year.
Hey, real quick, just doing the panel. I gotta tap out, so let me get my last thought.
CJ, talk to me.
All right. I really hope you do that. It's deeper than ducking panel tomorrow because I might have a little pushback on it. But as long as you,
that's what it's for. Let's do it.
Yeah. But as long as you laying down facts, maybe I don't got all the information. We all grown men, we all working. Maybe I don't have all the information, but I do think that what hearing from Shakur's team that negotiations were ongoing and then they just couldn't come to terms. It's just a matter of money, and that's where I'm at on it. They just couldn't agree on a figure or a percentage of the pay-per-views. But
from what I hear, it ain't get that far yet. It didn't get that far yet, and it wasn't really on the table. The opportunity obviously is always there when guys ain't for sure who they was gonna fight. But what I was hearing as far as like the option, like it wasn't really an option just yet. And guys is kind of doing what they're doing. One being because they still have they plan on revisiting Lomachenko for the first.
How we let him slide out the back door? That's why I want. How we let Loma slide out the back door?
Loma didn't completely run off on the plug.
I can't say it. When the contract, that contract.
They saying it's still, that's what they looking to revisit. Like they didn't completely abandon this idea of fighting Lomachenko. And if you just listen to Loma, they asked him, "Are you fighting Tank Davis?" He had said, "Yeah," and it was like next year. Yeah. I know it don't sound too convincing, but it's enough. You don't have to say yeah to that. He know what they asking him. So I'm thinking.
What are you talking about?
End of the year, then it was like I'm like, I can see it.
Real quick. Let me complete my exit because I really don't have time.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel that, but I think y'all gonna be slightly disappointed because it ain't no way that Loma gonna take 6 months to a year off and then come back and fight Tank. He gonna get a warm up, so it might be his second fight of the year. Third.
He first. We getting him out the way.
No. It ain't. That's not realistic.
He ain't warm up.
He fought
He didn't warm up for Devin like that.
That's not the same level of threat. Y'all give me 10 more seconds. I ain't got no time. That's not. I feel you on wanting that fight, but I don't think it's realistic for him and his team to move in that way to take that much time off at his age and not come back with a warm up. But hey, shout out Jusdu, shout out the panel. Next show you do, I'm gonna be tapped in and salute to everybody.
Salute CJ, man. Respect.
I see why he would say that, but I still think it's kind of a little different because you already put this opportunity off once to kind of delay it to a certain degree. At some point, you got to strike, and you know this dude done been around the block all the warm-up fight's gonna do absolutely nothing for you. You fresh off one of them, and we being a buck, you kind of. So again, I think it's not a big adjustment from November to the first quarter of next year for either guy. I think it's something that's worth it if they could come to terms and make a fight. So like I said, if what I'm being told is accurate and all I've been getting is 100%, I'm talking about when I say bro don't miss, he just came through here and it's him. Got a couple of solid sources that don't lie to your boy. When they tell me something, they usually be on point. But things are subject to change because it's boxing. But like I said, I think everybody jumped the gun. They felt like when we all seen that, Loma is out of negotiations, or he said next year or later this year or whatever, we all assume, all right, focus went Shakur Stevenson, you next. That never happened from what I'm understanding. So it just don't work that fast. Like I said, if your team tank, you still try to make a fight, because you telling me it's not really no, you ain't fighting at all. You just want a little bit more time to think about this. Not cool. Okay. It makes sense to try to salvage that fight. It's a unification. It's a guy that quote unquote people say you duck. Missed me with all this. He waited him out, aged him out. That man is still performing at a very high level. Show me where in boxing that he's not. Don't care how old he is, bro. The performances still look like he can compete with them people. I don't think that's an easy fight for Tank. I think Loma makes him think, but I think Tank just coming to his own is he at the top of his game right now. It's gonna be a tough fight for Loma. And
You know
what I mean? Just because of what he can do in there, the combination of being able to box and fight when he need to. So it's gonna be a good fight. I hope they still make it. If somehow that don't happen and Loma really just turn down quality smoke and go fight a lesser guy, if Tank fight Baranchik, I'm not tripping because it's a unification. You know what I mean? That man is at the point in his career where he deserved the best fight too. Nothing less. Frank Martin, we get it. Keep moving. The Lomachenko, like I like the direction this is going. I like it. And that's why I say it's unfortunate that as soon as we get here, we keep talking about years ago. Why are we rewinding the tape when we could start right here? It was never no negotiations before. At no point. We all know this is on record. I don't care about the empty call outs and the back and forth between promote. I don't care about none of that. All my sick Loma, I don't care about none of that. What I do care about now that it's negotiations going on, it ain't Tank going the other way. That's for sure. So from what I'm hearing, Loma ain't really say no at all. Fully, it's just I needed some more time. So I'm cool with it if he comes back and really stand on business. If he come back and fight a lesser guy, it's going to be very frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Because it creates all of this extra shit that we got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So show me that, Shakur and Tank is in negotiations. Shakur talking about not right now, I need some time. Now I got to look at him different. But we rushing it. Like we almost creating something that's not there.
Not there yet.
No offer was on the table. No numbers been discussed. It just didn't go there. Just from what I'm
I've been saying that for a little bit.
And that's
why I don't like when people do. Go ahead, Drake.
Yes, that's why I said to you, I've not called Tank or Shakur a duck until I hear from both sides. Because one thing, if you look, I don't like to make assumptions. Otherwise, you make an ass out yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
The first few words, ass. I'm not making no assumptions until I hear from.
Yeah, we just end up putting a jacket on the wrong fighter. Like, they don't have a history of this. Yeah, you could say he ain't calling for these, but I keep saying that shit makes sense to me, bro. They got that man started off with the blessings of a Floyd Mayweather. He made the most out of every opportunity. I believe they maximize his earning potential. Floyd pretty much said this shit. They gonna move him. We gonna get this money. He telling you. So it's like that shit has been working. Show me when it hasn't. And then meanwhile, you're in a position where you made a lot of money. You're still in a position to make even more money and fight all of the same people. I don't see the issue. There's like no need to rewind and talk about who he should have fought, when he should have fought. He right here, right now. And now is the time. So now I think the roads are getting thinner. There's less roads for people to travel without extreme criticism from their fan bases, bro. That's all around. 135, like it's only so many people up there at the top. There's only so many of those we want to see mixed it up before we like, hold on. So you ain't trying to fight nobody. Get what I'm saying? Shakur line up, say he go fulfill his deal, he gets it paid out the way, right? I'm interested to see what that next situation to look like, because I know a lot of people going to determine whether or not he want to fight based on that, and I can understand it, but keeping your options open, man, it seemed like the best thing for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's no telling who gonna end up facilitating that fight, but I ain't gonna rush the process before it get there. You know what I'm saying? I know some business got to be taken care of before they get there, and I'm telling you, if you in there trying to make money, you gonna make your money too. You got a Tank Davis that you promote, and you gonna make money. It's not about somebody being scared and ducking. Nobody, and them promoters and shit don't care about none of that. The matchmakers don't care nothing about none of that. And hearing, like I said, having to be, able to hear these conversations from these guys and knowing that it just don't go like what you think. I'm gonna keep saying it until people get it. Don't go like that. Dudes in there trying to make money, and they trying to do what makes sense as well. So it's like it's something that I could just only imagine that's not easy. You got it. It's business, so they're gonna always consider money. But you also to be in business, you need to be able to satisfy these people to want to. You know what I'm saying? You want these people to buy your product, and I could just imagine how much of a challenge that shit is when you really got your money invested into this shit. You know what I mean? We yelling what a big fight is, and it might not be big. You get what I'm saying? They crunch the numbers, it might be something different. So I don't know, man. I'm to the point where I'm saluting anybody that can put together the fights that we want to see.
Exactly.
And what promoter it is, for real.
It's gonna be Dragon Ball Turkey, man.
Get off that bullshit and work with each other. There's no blocking each other outside of the street. Need to vanish forever. Like there's no need for everybody not to work with everybody. Not one person in any one promotional entity has all of the fighters. I say that all the time too. It's sprinkled some here, some there. I don't care who got the belts, but nobody got all of the fighters in any one weight class. So,
if there was one promotional company, do you think it would be better?
I don't think it would.
I feel like they can still be who they are, but coexist and be under the same umbrella. That's something Turkey was talking about doing too. Having people kind of be under the same umbrella, but we very negative to change. It's like we say we want change, but if it's not coming from who you want to see it from, you kind of knock it before it even grow the legs. You're like, oh no, that's not gonna work. Rudy supposed to look good.
With the turkey thing, I've seen too many times with these Middle Eastern companies in Saudi Arabia, and they get into different sports and they pull out, and it kind of drops the whole bag off on everybody. So I don't like, if he making big fights like the B-Ball better be even the Joshua and Fury and Usyk, I like that, but I don't want him to keep saying I'm making the best fights and it's only for his best interest. You know what I'm saying? That's the only problem I have. Like I've seen them when they don't get their way, they pull their money out. You know what I'm saying? It's a big thing that they do. They do that as soon as they feel like they don't have control, they pull it out. So that's the big thing. I don't trust Turkey. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, act like I do, but I'm not opposed to what he's doing because it's been happening, but it hasn't been happening to the point where we are satisfied as the customers, because there's no reason that everybody shouldn't be cross promoting, because you're both going to make money. So the only one that really I think has the biggest problem is Top Rank, because Top Rank, their back end is so you got to make so much. So I believe that's a problem because they got to get like almost 400,000, 500,000 to get their back end, which is ridiculous when everybody else has a really cut off of 150 to 200. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. Zoom verse 617. Peace, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, they successful. I mean, I'm just with seeing somebody attempt to bring something to the table that we could appreciate. If his intent is true, it's pure, that's what I could appreciate. If you really in it to try to give us what you say, like the fights that we want to see, I could be with that. So far, I don't think it's bad. And I even I should have went and found it, where he said something about not being the face of boxing, because I know that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I don't think there's no promoter. I think the face of boxing stuff stay to the fighters. The guys that
face of promotions. But I have to disagree. Like the thing about like if we look,
I knew you was gonna disagree.
Oh, you know it.
I knew you was gonna disagree.
Yeah, but look at it this way, right? Look at it this way. First off, every promotional company is in it for themselves. Let's not get twisted and think they're like philanthropists or something. They're just here trying to make the greatest fights happen. No, they're all in it for themselves. Whereas Top Rank, whereas PBC, whereas The Zone, whereas Oscar De La Hoya Promotions, everybody's in it for themselves. They're all playing like they all have their deck of cards and they're trying to win.
I still want to see what exactly his end game is, and it's very early to see, right? Because a guy, I mean, it's been on record that he's been losing money, right? So and you look at that, you like, what is it? Got to be something that's in it for him, because people try to say it's not money. I just
it's a long game.
It is
a long game. You don't
money.
look at it from the beginning. You always look at it from the end.
Like nobody's in the business to lose money. I can understand you not caring about it being the biggest of profits, but to lose money, got to be something that's making him, want to do this.
It's get tourism in Saudi. That's the biggest thing. He even said it in an interview. Is get people to fight in Saudi because they want more tourism. Which
makes sense.
It makes sense, but the biggest fights sometimes can't be made in Saudi. So he's trying to, give us a little and take a lot.
Happened to the U.S. market. He talked about that, and he spoke specifically about a fight, and he said, "But that needs to be like in the States." It's like he was well aware, like, I want to be able to put this fight. I forget which fight he was speaking of. It's one of the ones we taught. I don't want to throw the wrong one out there, but he was saying like it needs to be over in the States. Like, and I'm like, okay, so you ain't just trying to have all the fights over. You understand that it's a market here that you need to be able to tap into, and we should be allowed to see these fights. So you'll really win people over if you could deliver the fights that we feel like is missing from boxing. You know what I mean? Especially if you putting it in places where we could see it at. You know what I mean?
Because I don't mind it if it's like he's doing it.
He might be hurt. Somebody mentioned De Los Santos. I think he might be hurt.
Yeah, he's always hurt, but for some reason.
The thing is, the reason why I'm not against it, but the reason why I'm like cautious about it is because if it's all under one banner, you see the move that Shakur did with Top Rank and Eddie Hearn, he would never have been able to do that if it was all under one banner, and you'd not have no leverage to market yourself. You'd have to listen to one person and dictatorship. Look at like I'm veering off, but look at like wrestling before. They used to have WCW, WWF, TNT, but it's all under one banner now. And I know a lot of these wrestlers can't demand what they could do from other companies. And that's the only thing for me. If it's under one banner, you're limited.
So, I mean, look at the UFC
maintain their individuality, but work together. I think it's that simple. I don't think nobody gotta not be who they are, but just be willing to work with everybody. I just think that's a win for boxing. If y'all really in it for boxing and not just your own financial gain, then you should be willing to work with anybody that has great fights to make and put on. I hate that that energy, that side of the street stuff.
Side of the streets,
terrible.
Yeah. All that gets eliminated. A side, B side, side of the streets. All that gets eliminated with Turkey. And I think
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Of course it does. Because Turkey's giving flat fees.
Because UFC got the same thing.
I see you, Kyle.
I don't like the side of the streets thing either, but I'm just like saying, boxers, as long as the boxers are not being dictated to under one umbrella, then cool. But that's my only. I'm always cautious with things. I don't like to rush into things. I like to see what's going on before we just say, oh, there's a lot of money there. Let's jump over there. And then before you know it, you've got all your people from the States in Saudi and being told
money ain't good money. Right.
You know what I mean?
Here's the equation.
I see some people saying everybody's selling out for the bag. You got to make sure that that's what's going on. At least allow the situations to kind of manifest and play out before we just say that. People are searching. They all in it for money. Let's make no mistake.
It's called prize fighting.
Prize fighting, buddy.
I think you gotta. If you obviously got an opportunity that's not going, be where you from, and you got an opportunity to go over here and make some money with this guy. Why not do it? And I say, don't just chase the money. Make sure the situation is right. The opportunity as a whole. Get what I'm saying? Make sure your money right, but make sure you ain't kind of being thrown into a situation you don't need to be in. And a lot of people felt like Jared Anderson was one, but he signed off on that. He ain't have to say he was adamant that he
was
wanted
the favorite though.
I heard he was damn near saying before the money was being talked about. That's how willing he was to just run at the smoke, and then it's like you see what happened. He get dusted. Yeah. People like this and that. They start blaming Turkey. I'm like,
no, you can't blame him. No,
he lost, bro. Turkey gave him opportunity, and he also said, being that he lost, that's okay because you still have opportunities for him. I was like, I love that. He stick with that. I don't see the bad just yet. I see some positives, right? But we just gotta wait and see because it's very early. You know what I mean?
And Anderson was the favorite. I think he was also ranked higher, wasn't he? So like we can't say he was supposed. He was one.
Look, as long as he don't do that U.S. versus the world stuff with them trash ass U.S. fighters again, I'm fine.
That was
the worst card I've ever seen with U.S. fighters. Like we had the worst of the worst out there, and everybody. Now we got to go back and send Boots and everybody over there to beat the brakes off them. Now I ain't like that because they knew what they was doing when they did that. Like they kind of set us up because they put Ray Ford in a horrible situation. He's supposed to be at 30. Like,
but that was Queensberry versus Matchroom, though. That wasn't necessarily. That wasn't necessarily U.S. versus the world type of thing.
That's what it was.
Eddie, man. That's what it was. Eddie offering that opportunity for that man, knowing he was supposed to be up. And same thing with Cordina. That's why I say, and I was just joking, but he probably owe Cordina ones. Like, yeah, man, I did tell you to take that fight down there. I'm telling you, he like, look, well, this is what I could do for you. Got an opportunity to fight for the title. It's not something people want to hear, but why else take
that? That's the power of having a great team, man.
He said he was going up. Them boys stuck around and they both took an L. Raymond Ford.
May I add this to the conversation about the consolidation thing, though? I think to the point you made before, just about removing the barriers, the size of the street, and so on and so forth. I could understand why there would be some apprehension. You wouldn't want one person to control it and potentially turn it into a dictatorship.
Yeah,
but for sure.
I'll say this on the opposite side: a lot of times fights don't get made because the fighters are scared, but because the promoters,
give me a second.
They don't want to lose whatever stock they've built up in the fighter, but they're quick to have those in-house fights. Why? Because it's a win-win situation. So even if fighter A loses to fighter B, if we have both of those guys under control, it's a win for the entity as a whole. So it's like if you remove that,
that's a good point.
That firewall, so to speak, then now you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good point.
Example is like Ryan Garcia. A good example is Ryan Garcia, what Oscar De La Hoya did, where he didn't want him to fight big fights like Tank for a long, long time, because Ryan Garcia was like going to be his icon. He wanted him to call out Tank, call out this and that, but he didn't want him to fight none of those guys. He wanted him to like just keep everybody's name out, and just like keep fighting the fights I pick for you.
So be like Devin. So be like Devin.
Be like Devin?
Yeah. Call everybody out and never fight him. No one
Devin wasn't like
needs to stop.
Devin wasn't like that. So Devin
did that. He did that as Shakur and Tank. Let's cut the malarkey.
Let's backtrack a little bit.
Cut the malarkey.
Devin, for the most part, in Devin's career, all the people that he actually called out and they responded, he fought them. Tank never came back to the table with Devin.
Tank,
hold
on.
Tank never. Okay.
What table?
So
there was none.
So yes, so Tank never came with an offer for Devin.
So how did he never come back to the table if there never was an offer? Huh? Devin can't send him an offer.
Devin can't send him. I didn't say he could. I'm saying
you just said he was at the table.
I said that was, for everybody that Devin called out and the person actually came through. Devin made the fight.
Nah, because he didn't make it with Shakur either. When he tried to,
he didn't call out
25%,
and he did. We don't know the validity of the 25%.
Oh, we know what Bill said,
but we don't know the validity of the 25% because it was something. Because
so Shakur, he don't fight everybody he called out. That's what you're saying,
huh? He does.
He don't fight everybody you saying.
No, everybody he calls out. Not everybody that calls
out. He called out them, and the show didn't fight him.
He called who?
Tank and Shakur.
He didn't call out Shakur. Shakur called out him. You don't remember? Shakur called out Devin. Devin didn't call out Shakur.
If you say you sent the contract, you calling them out. And then he said he did say he got the best of Shakur in sparring. So now we just capping for Devin.
No. What I'm saying is Devin never called out Shakur for a fight. Like let's keep it in perspective. Shakur called out Devin Haney. Devin Haney did not call out Shakur. Shakur came in the ring after Devin Haney fought Lomachenko, saying let's make the fight. Shakur called out Devin. Devin didn't call out Shakur.
He fighting for some future promotions, y'all.
Who? Yeah.
I see you, Kyle, man. I see you, man. Y'all know
Robert Merriweather.
Yeah.
For the most part. Robert Merriweather, something for future. Future Promotions, his date, pardon me, the date for Robert Merriweather is what's this? September 7th. He fighting John Mark Alamain, 6th rounder. It's Future Sports or something like that. I can't see it. They're not telling me, like the network per se. I'll do some more digging. I'll find out for you though.
I'm hoping it's on Pro Box, man. His last performance on there was fantastic.
Now Tank was in
talking about dropping Merriweather.
Yeah, they were talking about dropping.
Oh man, he was terrific his last time out.
But they said they want more bangers. They said he was boxing too much.
Shout out to my bro.
I couldn't imagine Pro Box saying that about him.
They said it on another channel. I'm not gonna say the channel name because I don't like bringing other people's views. But they said it on another channel, and the owner said it.
Pro Box.
Yeah.
Pro Box. I'm thinking he Big Supreme. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. I think it is. I think you're right. You might be right. You might be right in terms of where you're fighting at, but I'll go look and try to double check if I can. I'm always trying to figure it out because these dudes be bouncing around a lot. They be having situations that don't be working out for them. Sometimes we be thinking they signed with people. Sometimes we think certain trainers be training these. I'll be getting some game behind the scenes, y'all. No bullshit. Like it's certain fighters that you think guys train them and they don't. They literally paying dudes to like be seen with them. It's almost like a walkthrough. And I'm telling you, it'll be the first time it's crazy. But it's about trying to grow. So the intent behind it is positive, but you'd be amazed at what goes on, man. Brother. Bill Haney boys, we're going to 140. Going to 140, brother.
Hey, but let's come back to the whole thing, right? When it came to Tank was in position to mandate the fight with Devin Haney. You know that, right? When Tank had the Tank first had the belt and the Devin was the WBC champion.
No, he wasn't.
Why was he not?
Because that belt does not mean you automatically get a shot at the
I didn't say he was in position.
He was.
I didn't say he was a mandatory. He was in position to become Devin Haney's mandatory. He didn't take that step.
What?
He was in position.
You got a belt already. How are you going to become a mandatory? You can't do that.
Tank Davis.
Once you have a belt, you cannot become a mandatory.
He had secondary. No,
he has mandatory
belts. You know that, right? At 135, it didn't become official until Devin Haney left the 135 division, and he
left 135 Hacker because he didn't want to fight Shakur or Tank. Let's get it straight. God damn it! He almost lost. In my eyes, he did lose to Loma. After that freaking Loma fight, he wanted no part of Tank, and he wanted no part of Shakur.
Guys, hold up.
Stop the nonsense.
Hold up.
Will was told multiple times to call Bob. To call Al, and what did he do? He met with Steven Espinosa and said, "We're going in a different direction." Stop the cap.
Okay. Let me drop the cap right here. Devin Haney was WBC champion, right?
Salute to William Old School, man.
Super champion.
A bunch of nonsense.
Tank Davis was in position to mandate a fight with Devin Haney.
Can't mandate a regular title for a super title, bro.
Huh?
That's not in the rules. That belt is meant for unifying. That super belt is meant for unifying. You don't unify a regular title with a super title. How can you be a mandatory? Do you understand that makes no sense?
How can you even think before you talk?
What are you guys talking about? Tank Davis didn't have a super title. What do you mean?
He has the regular title. He's always had the regular. You cannot become a mandatory for the super title. It is a commemoratory belt.
School him.
You understand that?
Yeah, for sure, he can't be a man. Matter of fact, his belt comes with mandatories, to be honest with you.
So who's fighting? Come on, Just. Man, come on, bro. You gotta come better than that, bro. Know your knowledge, bro.
So what you say? You saying Devin Haney was taking a never mandated Devin Haney fight?
No, he was never.
Nah, he was never in that position.
And Devin was never going to fight him. He was just going to use his name for clout. Since we got that, thank you.
Shout out to everybody still hanging in there. It's been a long live.
I'm not quick. 1 second.
Go look it up. And I see you on another panel. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Tank has the mandatories, right? His belt has mandatories. He can't be no mandatory for nobody belt. He holds a title. He's a titleist. For sure. Yeah, he never was in that position for sure. But yeah, I definitely think that's a fight that ain't gonna happen.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. He ain't gonna fight.
I think it's over.
Who go to 40 right now? He wouldn't fight him.
I believe that. I agree. I just don't see it. I just think like look, I don't think they, it's no scary stuff, but for me,
Big
that situation,
brother Core was getting it to him every time.
yeah,
Now. I don't know about
like
that, brother.
if they can convince the world that they want to fight him, that's enough. If they could convince the world or their fans that they're being ducked by that guy, then you ain't never got to fight him, because you got to think that's what they hanging on to. They've been hanging on to that for some years, saying, the reason they don't want to fight, he's ducking, he's scared. At some point, you got to stop chasing a guy that's ducking and scared. So I just know something ain't adding up with that. But yeah, I don't see it.
I don't think, I'm not going to say anyone's ducking till I have confirmation, but like I said to you before, just do the way Shakur speaks and his actions, it makes other people look like it's suspect. But for me personally, I like to see facts. Do you know what I mean? So
right. So yeah, it was no way that could have happened. I mean, but shit, man, I just don't. Yeah, I feel like people move a certain way, and when guys want to make fights, they do less on social media and more behind the scenes. Like when your sole purpose is trying to convince the world that somebody is scared of you, and then again you start to be able to draw parallels and shit like that. If that's the story, anytime it comes to somebody that is truly a threat, it's they're ducking or they're scared, but you can't run that one. Like I said, I think his pops overplayed his hand when they got to 140, and you immediately pegged Matias as some type of duck. I think that opens for more people's eyes. Like, this is a dude that we know the story. Like, he done, you know what I mean, in the ring. So come on, man. That's not a guy that's scared to lose. Like, you get what I'm saying? He damn sure ain't scared of nobody. So you can overplay your hand, and you got to know, everybody not going for that duck talk, man. You know what I'm saying, some people gonna call you out for it. Somebody said there was a channel that said Tank can force the mandatory status of Devin, which makes no business sense. Yeah, people be tripping.
I'm gonna find it. Don't worry, I'm gonna find it.
You ain't gonna never find it. You gonna keep.
All right, we'll see. I'm gonna find that. I literally remember.
Never find it, bro. I've been boxing in the military.
Yeah, you're not gonna find. I see you, Cal.
Man, come on, bro. Nah, bro. You need to do some research, brother. Know the history of boxing when it comes to belts.
You don't want the smoke. Who's going away from smoke?
I run to the smoke.
Sometimes people, I did, like, for example, I used the recent one. Like I said, I heard Shakur is duck and tank because he working with Eddie Hearn. They don't have nothing. Never mind an offer, a discussion. None of that stuff need to take place nowadays for you to duck. You just you got to do what people at home say do from their computer chairs. If y'all millionaire boxers, y'all young successful boxers don't do what some of these content creators say you should do at home. Mind you, they ain't never put together no contract, no fight, no nothing. But if you don't do what they say you supposed to do, then you don't want to fight. It's just the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And they've been doing this. I've been tired of the duck talk since the Crawford Spence thing. They made him out to be a duck. People try to make Spence out to be a duck. They're doing the same thing. Then when they fight each other, it's like, what the hell? Like, for example, when he was supposed to fight Porter and it didn't look like he was in a rush to fight him, and people were saying he was scared of Sean Porter. He wouldn't fight Sean Porter. Then when he finally about to fight him, that's because he did. So it's like, you can't have it both ways. I thought he was scared of the guy. So all this duck talk just gets draining. You know what I'm saying? I think dudes are entitled to make moves. For me, a duck will be solidified if you turning down opportunities. If the opportunity was never presented and it's just a YouTube conversation, not trying to hear that shit. You're not valid. Your claim is not validated off nothing but purely your perspective and your thoughts. You can't validate it off anything. No moves being made, all this over speculation. That shit is super weird. So I don't know. But that narrative is just bad for the sport, bro. I mean, we put the duck titles on the fighters that's being avoided instead of, it's more talk about a guy ducking a fight that was never offered to him than the guys that had fights offered and walked away. That's where we at in boxing today. So that shit is just amazing to me. But time will tell everything, man. All it take is, for somebody bluff to be called. We'll know.
Yeah.
There'll be a time where we be able to call whoever is a duck for real. But until opportunities get offered, I can't see it. You can't duck somebody from a separate weight class. You can't duck a fight that's not offered. It's just that's not logical. So
you can't duck a mandatory that can't be made.
And somebody please tell me what Tank is doing. Please, while he being
no one knows the Tank. I don't understand why people don't like Tank versus El Rayo. It's a championship fight.
Well, damn it, John Fury still ducking me to this day.
Shout out to my brother William. Probably because they seen him get stopped before by De Los Santos. You can't lose. You can't lose, or everything is a good fight. You just leftovers if you lose. You get what I'm saying? You can't lose in today's boxing. You lose.
Yeah, losing is part of boxing. Like somebody's got to lose.
It's like everybody that lose, are they now a leftover the next time they get in the ring? They ain't food, bro. Like I know we say people be food, but we don't mean it literally, bro. Ain't no such thing. To me, I just think it's a bad name.
Look at Ryan Garcia. I don't like the dude, but he got beat by Tank, and then he beat the next guy. The next guy fought Oscar Duarte, innit? So,
right.
And then obviously what happened with Devin happened.
Got sparked. End up pulling off an ugly win against Tim Tszyu. It was all action,
Yeah, that's why I guess
in that same position now. You know what I mean? To bounce back coming off a knockout loss, like it happens. Dudes do it, man. You gotta bounce back.
El Rayo's bounce back was actually one of the best bounce backs as well because he lost to De Los Santos, and then he had a controversy loss to what's his name,
Colbert,
and then he knocked him out.
Right. I think it was how he beat him too in that rematch. He was outboxing him too. Outboxed him and then stopped him. He showed separation in that fight as far as being able to box and then stopped him. I loved it.
Yeah.
So
he put it together.
See him go like that, but I like the performance for Rayo.
Hold up, guys. Hold up. Let me ask you guys this question. Can y'all hear me? Yo, okay, so Devin Haney was
unfortunately, yes, we hear you, Packer.
I miss you too, old school. Devin Haney was undisputed, right? Tank Davis was WBA champion. At that position, couldn't Tank Davis mandate the fight with Devin Haney?
No.
Why?
Because you can't mandate for another belt because you have a belt.
Yeah, it's two champions.
You can only unify.
You can't unify.
It would be a unification of the super and the regular title.
Yeah.
No.
You have to be a number one contender, but you have to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys mean? He of course, if somebody he can ask for a mandate for the champion, the super title.
The super doesn't have a mandatory. First of all, let's get that out the way. So you can't mandate for it. It is given when you unify.
So you're saying an undisputed champion doesn't have a mandatory?
The super title does not have a
when you're the undisputed champion, you have super titles. So are you
because they're meant for unifying. They're not meant for mandatories. The regular titles have the mandatories. They're just meant to fight other sanctioning bodies. Do you understand that? Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying. So you're saying
that's why they were created. That's why the super was created.
That's interesting.
You don't remember when what's his name? The heavyweight
years ago.
Ant McQueen know who we talking about, but he ain't here. Lennox Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah. When he wouldn't fight, they gave him the super title so he wouldn't have to fight his mandatories and could keep a belt. That's why it was one of the reasons it was created.
Yep.
No, you got to know your history. Yeah.
Let's tell me that. Oh, wait, then how did Boots become a mandatory for Crawford then? Or was in position to become mandatory for Crawford?
Different belt.
What do you mean?
It's the IBF. Do they have a super title?
Nope.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I
see what you're trying to get at.
And I'm not sure that Tank was actually ranked in any of the other sanctioning bodies. Like right now, the only one he's ranked in is the WBA, which he's the champion. the WBC, IBF, WBO. He's not in any of those rankings.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I don't think that's. I feel like Tank was in the position to mandate, but maybe I'm wrong. I feel like you guys say it's different, but like from what I remember,
don't you can just drop the dub plate on your blood clot, boy. Just end it, bro. It's done. It's done. Done.
All I heard was blood clot. What'd you say?
Don't them drop the dub plate on you, man. Just
Brad Walker, what it do, my guy? How you feeling, bro?
Just is tired, man. You hear it in his voice.
Was the IBF mandatory and interim champion? Yeah, right. Totally different situation. Big Supreme, what it do, my guy? Cash Crypto. Shout out to everybody. It's been a long, dope build as always. People be jump overboard. Welcome to Plank for their favorite boxer. Champions aren't ranked in any sanctioned bodies. Facts. Facts. Champions do not be in no rankings at all because they are a champion. And no, he couldn't have mandated a fight with him and Devin Haney. No, sir. The boxing hacker go, bro. You're off. It's quiet. He must be off. Shout out to boxing hacker. I try to be fair to everybody. You know, I don't mind people coming up to build, but I don't want the whole chat mad because he talking. Shout out to boxing hacker, bro. You're always welcome.
Good luck with that, Just.
Yeah, once you are a champion in sanctioned body, take you out the rankings. Absolutely true. Absolutely. So,
thanks for having me up on the panel, bro. I'm going to eat.
Y'all all always welcome up, man. Boxing hacker, you always welcome up, bro.
Just do respect for that as well, man. Respect for that.
You already know. Shout out to boxing hacker. Shout out to William Old School, Don, the rest of the fam, everybody in the building. Shout out. You already know.
Peace, bro.
Peace. And shout out to the chat. Much love to y'all. Appreciate everybody supporting your guy. We just gonna keep building one build at a time. Salute to my brother Cal Coolett and the rest of the gang, man. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of y'all good Monday. We're gonna be back tomorrow to build on this great sport of boxing. Y'all know how we do. So with that, we up out of here, man. Peace to the fam.